Last we left off, uh, we found out Silas and Klaus appeared to be working together, and
I think
uh,
technically you already knew that, but well, I don't know.
well, above
Uh,
table we knew our characters now know,
yeah.
or yeah, um, and then my character in the
Well,
raged out demon state decided to try and spear Klaus after screaming father was right and taking him to mother, but at the same time he's trying to get his bodyguard to teleport him out, and that's where we ended.
yeah.
And then
So
we did the initiative. I had
13.
uh
At 13 he had a 9. So
okay.
yeah. So y'all both are swallowed up in flames. You and don't immediately feel that same warmth, but you, Klaus, almost feel like you're standing in an oven. It's just swelteringly hot, like hundreds and hundreds of degrees. As you look around, you're standing in almost obsidian rock with veins of fire, like you're standing in a small island of surrounded by lava. And about 30 or so feet away, you see this large twisted throne of rock and metal, and you see sitting there is just this towering, like you saw in that portal, but now just like 30, 40. Her height seems unmeasurable to you. And she kind of looks up from her book, looking kind of bored. Oh, you've come.
Mother, I apologize for the intrusion, but it appears one of our party members here is in cohorts with a gentleman by the name of Silas, who unwaveringly decided to say that I'm supposed to speak to you in regards to the two of them, so I brought him with me.
Ah, I see. She kind of puts her books away, kind of sits on the arm of a chair, and kind of motions for you both to approach.
I'm gonna kind of give Klaus a nudge as I'm walking.
Uh, I'll follow.
As you approach, saying, "Ah, Silas. Yes, me and him have a bit of a business arrangement. During these last couple of years, he was seeking the gift of undead immortality. And in exchange for the knowledge, Padochivati helps me time to time in such certain research and experimentation."
In the temple in which we had found Silas' mother, he seemed to have been trying to procure for himself a bow or a crossbow like weapon that was in the basement, which he did get his hands on before he disappeared. He did proceed to retaliate against us trying to stop him from getting it, so we ended up in a fight. one of us out of the 5 were the only ones who were able to deal some damage to him, but we did get a little bit into him before he had mentioned that I should come and speak with you.
Well, he is quite a capable spellcaster. He can certainly be very dangerous when he needs to be. If you're standing, I imagine he probably allowed y'all to walk away. If he had truly wanted to kill you all, probably wouldn't be standing here. And you can tell by the expression on her face that she's saying this with dead seriousness.
Understandable, Mother. That being said, the gentleman that I brought before you by the name of Klaus seems to owe some kind of explanation in which he tried to get away before he gave us one, but I managed to bring him here.
I see. As she looks over to you. She looks over to you, Klaus, and saying, "And why were you trying to escape?"
I will remove my mask
Alright.
and then tell her. So I'm not whispering. I was just trying to dodge somebody
Pur-
flying at me.
Purposely interrupting, I will nudge the back of his knees, telling him he is in the presence of a goddess. He should be kneeling.
Are you like, is it like a subtle nudge, or are you like trying to like force him to kneel?
In between subtle nudge and force. I'm not trying to shove him down, but at the same time, I'm making it apparent to my mother, that I am trying to get him to abide by and recognize that she is a goddess.
I would like to resist that
Okay.
and say I
Uh,
bow to no one.
I know I wasn't trying to above table. I'm not trying to get you to bow. I'm trying to take you at least take a knee to understand that you're in the presence.
I'll say we'll do like if like
From Klaus's personality and where he's coming from above table, he's not gonna bow to anyone.
I'll say as you like, then as you like give him that little forceful but no nudge, you see that he has no interest in bowing or kneeling. So unless you want to force it, you see he's clearly not going to bow before your mother. Uh, no.
Andonia?
And Donya. Oh, he says his PC is computer shut off for
Oh.
some reason.
Oh yeah. Did it? Cause I have streamer mode enabled. It didn't tell me he left.
Yeah,
And it did.
yeah.
Alright, I sent you a message too.
Okay. Are you like spamming Silas.
Yeah, I'm ringing his phone.
I'll say while he's gone during this moment, what are you telling him? Like word for word. Like
Come here. Explain this mess you have gotten me into. I'm not going to quit calling you.
the only thing you get back is you. It sounds like he's saying talking through gritted teeth. But he's like, not no. Like even if you start bugging, it's like you get that one reply from him, but you're not getting response back.
In response to that, I'll tell him, if you cannot come, then send Ollie to me as backup.
I
I don't
don't.
know if Silas is even in contact with Ollie.
I don't think. I don't know. I don't think Silas ever met Ollie. So
Uh,
at least not that I remember in the last
I
campaign.
can't remember.
Yeah. I don't think Silas and Ollie have never met.
Do I have that? I wouldn't be able to use it right now, anyways, because they would see it. Let's see though. And it goes through.
Do you have sending?
I have
Because the only
Gladiator. I have Speedy Courier.
okay.
I
What do you want to you send them an item?
uh. Let's see, is there something I'd have that Ollie would know? Let's see. I'm trying to check my inventory. Uh.
Yeah, because you haven't heard of. Yeah, you haven't heard
Oh,
of.
he gave us that. I'll send him the Charm of the Eldritch Eye,
Okay.
because he gave that to us when we was in the Shadowfell.
Yeah, that's
And
true.
can it give a message? Oh, it'll tell him who it's from. I forgot the spell says it will say who it's from. If you wanna,
I mean, unless you want to like scroll like a message or something on it.
let's see. Uh, does it say? It just says, I'll just, yeah, throw in Klaus. Need help. Just scroll in there with it.
All right.
We'll see if he comes or not.
So you send it off. No, where you? Yeah, because it's no matter where he is, isn't it?
Yeah, it just goes to him. He will know what the contents is before he opens it, and he can choose to open it or not. We'll know how much time is left on it.
You send it off. A few moments later, feel the wind pick up as it returns. That you're not getting as it returns. You see that same.
Hello?
Ella.
Hello.
Yeah, no idea what happened. Just suddenly my shit was all my screens just like froze in place, and then it disconnected and shut my computer down.
Jeez. So what? Did you get a blue screen of death?
No, just everything froze and then shut off.
Oh,
So
jeez.
I'm thinking I had too much going on. So I disconnected a couple of the animal cameras for the stream, and hopefully that helps because I streamed fine last week with just one. So I had 4 animal cameras going on. So I've narrowed it down to 2 now.
Yeah, I imagine probably streaming all that probably overloaded your everything.
That's what I'm thinking. All right, so I was trying to give him that nudge,
Yeah.
and then
As I was trying to tell you, I guess before you disappeared, but
I was gonna say if I needed to, since he wanted to resist, but I was trying to do it. I didn't know if we wanted to roll against each other or how you wanted to do that.
well, it's like I'll say it's like you see him you as like as you're doing this, you see him put 2 things in, and you see him summon an air elemental holding a chest. Like with one hand, put these things in the chest, close it, and the thing disappears. But if you want to force it, it'll be at
Okay, so if he didn't want to do it on the nudge, then I'll try and give him a more of a hefty kick in the back of the one leg in the knee area to try to get it to buckle on purpose.
So I'll say it'll be athletics versus. I'll say it'll be athletics versus athletics, or either both of you roll either athletics or acrobatics, and it'll be you know roll
I got
versus.
16. 16.
I got a 17.
Oh, barely.
So it's like you kick him hard in the back of the knee. Your knee kind of buckles a little bit, but you manage to like put your other foot forward and kind of stabilize yourself. But you don't actually prevent yourself from actually going down.
All right.
And after that, I will walk to my throne that's on my mother's right hand side, and I will sit down as she is questioning him.
She kind of leans down from the throne, like just even this large state just towering over you. So, I get why he's doing what he's doing. Tell me, why did you run?
Saw someone trying to attack me. I was trying to dodge out of the way.
And Antonio, speak up. No, you were attempting to teleport at the same time I was coming at you.
That's correct. That's a dodge. I am a spellcaster. How I
But
choose to dodge.
wouldn't it be I would come at you and then you would attempt to teleport, not at the same time?
You caught me off guard. I was sitting there. I heard Silas yell, and then I saw you come around the corner flying at me. What was I supposed to take from that? I didn't know if you wanted to hurt me or not.
We see she just leans back in her chair saying, that seems like a reasonable response.
Mother, that does explain his teleporting and trying to get away, but it doesn't explain how father was right to not trust him and why he is working with Silas in secrecy.
Perhaps you should ask Silas.
If I may, I am not working with Silas in secret. That is open knowledge if anybody was to ask me. I'm very proud to work with him. Me and him are like brothers. But what me and him are trying to accomplish is of our own business. There is something I must do, and I'll do it by any means.
Like
And
as you say this, you feel the wind pick up again in this very hot chamber as you see that same air elemental appear next to you, holding a chest.
Now, if you'll excuse me, I have some mail to open. I'm a very busy man, and I'll to open it.
You open it, you see that same parchment is covered in blood. As you just see, it's like hurriedly scrawled, probably barely readable, but it's written in Sylvan. It just says his followers came for me.
I would then say I must leave. There's something urgent I need to take care of. If this questioning is over,
Donia's gonna look over at Mother. So, Mother, he may be open and claim that he is open about working with Silas, but his response to working with him in secrecy was quite vague.
I think you should talk to the other one. Perhaps both sides will complete this story. As he just stares at you, Klaus, and she says, "Oh, and you can keep this," as she throws a dagger at your feet.
hey, what?
She throws the dagger at your
Oh,
feet.
okay.
There's your answer to that other proposal. Believe me. She flicks her hand. Your vision is just consumed in all. You feel almost hotter than you've ever, like you're almost about to pass out. And you blink and you're back in the temple.
And what Antonia wants to do, she wants to add some confusion to the other party. What she's going to do is she already knows that when she detransitions from her demoness form, that she's going to be out cold for the 12 hours.
Mm-hmm.
So she's going to stay at Mother's side on her throne when she goes back to her normal form until she wakes up.
Alright. We can go back to
Uh,
the.
am I able to say anything before she sends me away? Or is it immediately?
It's immediate.
Okay, yeah, I can work something else out.
Alright.
All right, I'll go back to the chat, but I'm going to be muted until you say I'm awake.
Alright.
There.
Yes, we are here.
Gaga.
Oh wow!
Yeah, we're playing out the scene of them disappearing.
Hey,
Meanwhile,
you're right, Faye. You win the bet.
Yeah, I was like, hey, wait a minute. So Klaus said they're in the secret chat. Only Lake can pull people into the secret chat, and I can hear my dad talking faintly in the other room, but can't tell what he's saying, and he's not in the chat. So they're probably playing out the thing of whatever happened after they got pulled away.
so
Yes.
meanwhile, as they disappear, the rest of you kind of wondering what the hell's happening. You, Phalar, you hear this hissing in this chamber coming from the snake figurine.
The one that's on the wall where the crossbow was taken.
Yep.
If I look over at it, he'd probably like still kind of holding on to his side. He's at like just around 60% health, by the way, for anybody that wasn't here when I did that. So he kind of, leaning against the wall, he looks up, and I'm gonna kind of like look over it, see if it looks like, is it like some kind of trap that's been triggered? It seems
Yeah, it seems
like its temple is
it's like
agitated.
the air starts to immediately smell like rotten eggs as you see this some green smoke begin to billow out very quickly out of this snake's mouth.
Kind of like what'd you say about smoke bomb on 4th of July speed?
Yep.
So he'll kind of lean up from the wall, and then he rounds around the corner, and he looks at everyone else, and he's like, "Right, Otto, Father Velik, it is time to go." As this smoke is just creeping up behind him.
It's like I'll say it's as you say this, you see a flash of flames as Klaus reappears.
Oh,
Klaus reappears, and then he looks down at the floor and goes, "Somebody pick up Singe as well." And then he looks over at Klaus, and before he Klaus can even probably reorient himself, he's like, "It's time to leave. The statue is quite mad."
all right. I'll immediately come here and tell the skeletons to hop in my bag and tell everybody to hold hands. There's somewhere we have to go immediately. And tell everybody to be willing, and then have the Slad drop invisibility and tell them to plane shift us to the Shadowfell.
Oh, okay.
So I'll pick up Singe, as carefully as I can while still being hasty about it, and then probably grab Otto's hand, and then be like, "Well, we don't really have much of a choice right now, even if the situation's suspicious. I'd rather not get caught in whatever this smoke is." As it's probably just he'd be up here now. It's probably coming into the hallway.
Yeah. It's like now it's just starting to fill. Like probably as you teleport, it's like now just starting to push into that hallway.
They'd be brushing up against the back of Phalar as he's just getting gradually more urgent about it.
Like we gotta go.
It's
Ghost!
just deadly neurotoxin is slowly filling the room, and we're just okay,
Bad.
Singe rolls something with disadvantage to try and. I don't know if it just to remember that there's boots of haste and stuff in the Steel Defender Corpse, or to try and signal that we're leaving a bunch of materials.
Oh!
yeah, because you didn't are the
Didn't pick it up.
Yeah, I'll say.
Don't know if I want to be try. I guess persuasion, just because I'm kind of out of it. It's not my best stat, and just to be signaling that there's something we're forgetting here.
Yeah. So roll persuasion.
Oh, that one's lower. 10. Yeah. I just look out of it probably.
Yeah.
just kind of ugh, as we teleport.
Mm-hmm.
We can always come back and get the stuff if Sins remembers.
Back to blown out temple that was just
I'd
literally
probably say
destroyed.
right as we, like, just before we teleport, in Phalar's mind, he's like, oh, right, and then mentally commands his, Shield Guardian to, I'd imagine it's probably got a decent pathfinding ability, so he'll mentally command it to return to the town that we were at.
Okay.
Because it's been there enough, it probably knows the direction. Just so that it's not sitting here lagging around outside the temple in case we don't come back to the temple.
So as y'all,
Because I can't communicate with it across planes, so.
yeah. So as y'all immediately kind of come into this very dark, almost dreary place. You kind of look around, seeing a town in almost a disheveled kind of state. You, Klaus, immediately kind of zeroing in on where Ollie's house is. You see the door is half broken in and covered in blood. Like there's this big streak.
I will take off running to it, busting my way in and yelling at Father Valek. Umbriel, Ollie, need help. As I'm running in.
Umbro?
Quite a lot going on all at once. We almost got gassed, and now we've got this situation.
I'm confused.
I'm somehow on the second floor.
Totally cut off point.
Yeah,
you went through the window.
Yeah, you went through the window.
Oh.
Here, I'll shift you back down the. Oh, never. You got it.
Nope, I don't know how I did.
Now you're on the third floor.
Oh my god.
Here, just go through this door right here.
Okay.
As you kind of push this half-broken door, you see furniture is scattered, ripped to pieces. You see like a lot of you see quite a fight has happened in this house. You see streaks of blood. Like you see part of the stone looks like it's almost been eaten away, like it's been corrupted. Like you see signs of magic's been cast here. Weapons are scattered all over the place. Blood streaks in all sorts of directions.
I will yell for Ollie.
You get no response.
I'll just follow the path of the destruction wherever it takes me.
As you see it you see it's clearly leading you to the second floor.
Right, I'll go upstairs.
You see as you come up the stairs, this door kind of broken and open. You see the trail kind of continues. More streaks of blood. You see kind of collapsed against this bookshelf is looks like this robed figure, black robes. It's kind of still as you see like half of his body is just covered in these like large thorns that it's like covering his entire body. Just like you see he's kind of moaning, wailing as he's like these vines have clearly grown around him and are pinning him against this bookshelf. We see the trail continues upward.
I'll run up to him and ask him to tell me where Ollie is if he wants a quick death.
He just looks over at you. You shall return. His head goes limp.
I'll just keep going up the stairs.
You see more furniture is knocked over. This door kind of broken and wide open as the trail kind of leads to the main bedroom, and you see kind of standing there, wounds covering most of his body, staff out, just staring at this, breathing heavily, an intense look on his face, just staring at this robed figure on the ground. As you see, like he hasn't even noticed you, but you see like he's just a hand on his chest. He's like as his figure is like pinned against the wall, as you see he's just his staff out held in front of him toward his figure, as you see he's just muttering something, as you see these same kind of dark vines starting to grow up his figure's chest and around his neck, around this figure's neck.
I would come in and ask Ollie what's going on.
You see kind of like his head kind of snaps in your direction. You see he's very much on edge, alarmed. Fucking cult found me again. Fucking goddamn Vecna. You see, just turning his attention. He's like, his tension is back focused as he's just continuing to mutter as these vines continue to grow around his figure's necks and begin to pull in and start choking him.
Let's see, what do I have in my inventory? I will yell out the window to Father Valek to come up here. I need his healing power.
What
I'll
are,
tell Ollie
what,
to hold.
what are the rest of y'all doing?
We're still outside, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Who's all here?
I'm just sleeping.
Yeah, send just out like a light.
I'm carrying Singe
Yeah.
and also looking around quite like slight bit of admiration, but also kind of caution because I'd imagine Phalar probably has a general idea of where we are right now.
I think
And
that.
he's like, "Oh, we're here."
I think that, and
Yeah, what the sudden panic from Klaus upon arrival.
that I think that plus sudden arrival, seeing Salus's lich form, just kind of reminding you of your past.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just all kind of cycling.
Yeah, he's very much on edge right now, but he's trying his best to just keep himself mostly calm and not drop Singe.
Should we also head in?
It's up to you.
Let's head in. Let's head in.
Other vehicle will come running up.
As he comes in, I'll say, "Hill Ollie, we have things to discuss. Vecna
And probably think
cult
like
is here."
all these years that I just gave him more first shit. It's like
Ollie is going to cast.
Mhm.
Because Ollie is so intensely focused on this figure. Like he's like you see he's just so focused. It's like as you try and tell him to stop,
Oh,
it's like you tell by his expression and his intensity that it's like it just went over his head. It's like he didn't even
what
register.
does it smell like for her?
As he is going to cast.
Which is funny because Grandma was going on and on about how like she's always alone. She never gets to spend time with Grandpa anymore. Can
I
spend time with her.
just to
And
cue in
now
real
that
quick. I didn't
Grandpa
know we had a
dies,
new player.
she gets on her nerves. So it's like, well, pick one.
As Ollie, in his rage, he is going to cast.
Get up.
Yeah.
He's going to cast Blight at 8th level on this guy.
Oh,
Yeah, I think it's
Damn.
been loveless for a very long.
wait. Wait, Druid can cast?
They're just roommates.
Druids are spellcasters.
Okay.
Druids have always been spellcasters. What planet are you living on?
No. I just thought like there may be like pool of magic, but it's fine.
I mean, like druids don't have they don't have access to things like power word kill, but
Yeah.
But I still remember
Okay.
I think he had like casted on him before.
yeah. That was when
Yeah, cool.
the
Yeah, I think
yeah that was through the Sword of Cost though.
Oh yeah.
Are y'all saying flight or light?
The
Blight.
Blight
Blight.
Blight.
is yeah Blight Ollie
Oh, blight.
yeah
But you're saying flight, like flying.
no Blight BLIGHT.
Okay, that's why I was asking. Are you saying light, like a light bulb, or flight, like flying?
No, he's casting Blight at 8th level on this guy during his rage. It's like you see him just in almost uncanny speed as he like drops his staff, palms the guy's face, lifting him up, and you see him say, "When you see your master, tell him I said hi." As you see him start screaming, as all his veins start turning black, his skin starts turning pale, and it's like you see, and his body just crumbles to dust. He kind of slowly puts his hand down.
And Otto's gonna turn to Klaus and ask, "So can you explain what's going on?"
Yes, this is Ollie. He is one of the heroes that helped take down Vecna last time. He is a very renowned druid.
I think some of the initial shock has probably worn off of Phalar, and he'll start to make his way in as well, noticing most of the party has now.
The question is, where's Indonia? And why are we here?
Andonia is safe, and we are here
That's
because
not very convincing.
she is safe.
Yeah, Ollie kind of
No.
kind of straightens up. Kind of like you see, almost like he's like trying to recompose himself.
And we're here because I got a very concerning letter from Ollie.
Oh, okay. When did you get that letter?
When I was with Indonia.
You gotta tell us what actually happened, because right now
I sent a
all I
letter.
know is you and Antonio disappeared, and Antonio attacked you, and now Antonio's gone.
Yeah, well,
Did you kill her?
no, I didn't kill her.
But where's the proof?
I don't know. Trying to attack me and see if you disappear.
Yeah, no. How about not? How about no?
I'm just joking. She's safe. But I had sent Ollie a letter when I was with her asking for his help, and he sent one back covered in blood. So I knew something was wrong. He said the cult had found him.
I feel it probably comes in through the door and it's like, right, so I heard most of that. I'm here now as well.
I would say, Taylor, given your past with being within this cult and hearing the name Ollie, you've heard and only Vecna rant about how much he has despised Ollie for his rivalry, his encounters with him, and you especially know that among the cult, Ollie is considered like enemy number one.
That being said, given Ollie's current state, would he like pick up on that vibe from Phalor as he sees him come around the corner?
You see Ollie is kind of like he is you see that he hasn't noticed you, and you see he's more concerned about his current injuries than anything else at the moment. And let's see. Father Valek, well, just that. Hellcast, Cure Wounds at third level. It was only for 21. He's like, he kind of turns, kind of feeling this, kind of looks over his shoulder, kind of nodding at Father Valek. Third level slot.
After Ollie regains his composure, I want to ask him what is going on.
Well, it seems. Winville, remember. What's his name? Been so long. I remember. I can find his mini.
Oh, that's right. Ollie last saw me when I died.
Yeah, Ollie was there when he died.
I need to track down Victor. I got some unfinished business with him. It just came into my head. Forgot about him.
Well, it seems. You remember that necromancer lieutenant of his?
Vaguely.
Well, Apparently what we didn't realize is when we killed him those many years ago, he was a lich back then. So he came back. And apparently he's been trying to rebuild the cult for his master's return. And I, keeping my eye at a distance, but apparently they found me and well, and you saw the results.
I did.
So you
It
kind
seems
of
like you've got worked over in your old age. This isn't the Ollie I remember.
he just smirks and saying, "It's good to see you again, though. Last I saw you, you kicked the bucket."
Kicking the bucket. More like kicking it down the road a little bit.
It's probably now at this point he kind of looks over Klaus's shoulder and sees Balar.
Baylor just kind of looks over and then he tilts his head slightly with like a raised eyebrow for a moment, as what you had mentioned Phalar would know probably pops into his head.
Yeah.
And he's like, you know, I've believe I've heard of you, and I have to say your work is quite admirable.
Well, word does get around. Apparently too much word. This place is burned. I can't hanging around here anymore. Would have gone back to my grove, but I didn't want to draw attention over there either. My family in danger.
I have the perfect place for you to go, Ollie.
Where was that?
I'll give him the directions to the. And I'll tell him to follow us, and I will tell him I'll introduce him to some people that can help.
Alright, he'll nod. And Father will turn and make his way out. I think he'll is Singe is on Taylor's shoulder, or he's just holding on, carrying him like a toddler.
Probably like carrying him because of how exhausted he is. I wouldn't want to rely on the potential of his grip strength failing.
I think Father kind of seeing this, he'll kind of he'll kind of like, poor little thing, let me help, and he's going to put a hand on Singe. You hear him mutter a prayer as Singe, you feel this kind of warmness fill your chest. That heaviness, that tiredness seems to almost lift a little bit. As he's going to cast Greater Restoration on you. You can lose 1 level of exhaustion.
All right. He'll sleep a little more soundly.
I'll tell everybody we should get comfortable. We'll leave in the morning once the Slad is able to plane shift us again.
Oh, I can plane shift you. I think I can probably do it once, but then I'll be spent, I think.
Say we could just wait till the morning. I didn't really get to check around Shadowfell last time I was there's quite a few supplies to collect here.
I'll nod, saying, "Oh, you're welcome to stay here," but he kind of like motions to the blood and stuff everywhere. But well, bit of a mess.
And Klaus would turn to everybody and say, "Well, shall we go exploring?"
But we gotta find out where's Antonio first, right?
And Donio meet back up with us.
Where?
That's a good point. She may go back to the temple. I can send a letter to her. Don't worry.
Okay.
I wonder if the courier can travel between planes though.
I don't know.
Imagine she goes back immediately, gets poisoned by whatever was coming.
I think I might have a idea.
What?
Don't worry about it. I'll do it
God.
later when I'm by
Oh my
myself.
God.
Yeah,
Contact.
you can, but you'd have to cast it at 8th level to send it across planes.
Okay. I'll get in contact with her later. Don't worry. But for now we should explore this place. We don't get too many chances to come here.
What is this place?
It's the Shadowfell Evernight.
Okay.
It's Evernight's kind of a well-known. If you depends on how book learned you think Otto would be.
I would say he is pretty book learned. Well, I can still roll.
Make, make a
If
history
rolls-
make a history check.
Yeah. History check. Good, I guess. I rolled a 1 for get a 1 out of my rolls from tonight.
You have
So he
no clue.
He is not remembering.
It's like he says the word Evernight, you have no earthly idea.
Okay.
It all sounds completely foreign.
I will say
Let's go explore.
I will say there's a giant castle we can go to, and then Father Valek, if you would like to do your prayers or whatnot. I know I saw a church here.
I think I'm gonna rest for a while. I'm kind of spent.
All right.
Y'all
I'm
go
sure
ahead.
I'm sure the church could give you a
I think me
good
and
rest.
Ollie will catch up. Been a while.
All right. Me and Ollie will catch up later too. So, guys, where do y'all want to go first? You want to go to the church or the castle? I saw last time I was here.
Both.
Huh?
But we can go to the church first.
All right. Well, let's go. Oh fuck! Where did I go now? Oh, I'm in the roof.
I just teleported.
Yeah. Hold on.
Probably easier just to shift and teleport yourself out.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I'm
It
doing.
was a struggle to get into the building.
All right.
I was like, let me just teleport myself up there.
I'm at the church. Throw 'em back, guys. That's what I'd say as I walk out the door.
I'll say it's by this time, McDoney, is when you start coming to.
All right. Well, I mean, everyone's gone, so at this point, I'm just gonna kind of chill with Mother, I guess, for a little bit, gain my bearings.
I mean, she could teleport you to where the party is, depending on if you want to go over there.
Would she know
Oh,
where
I
we're
know.
at?
I mean, she has the power to plane shift.
Oh yeah.
And she's a goddess.
I mean, she's a lord of hell, so.
Fire's nice and warm on my base of my mini.
Yeah, walk in lava. You only take 25 d8 fire damage.
happens I'm immune to fire damage.
But yeah, I know that it's because exhausted, 12 hours, the whole shifty thing. So she's taken a moment to regain herself while feeling, the comfort of being home.
Yeah.
So once she's regained herself and is awake and good to go, then she'll request to get sent over.
The only thing she tells you before you go is, "Fine, Silas. Find out what's really going on."
Well, is that something I can ask her instead of sending me to the party, send me to Silas's mansion?
In Vale?
Yeah, because I mean that's the last place I knew he would be, so that's where she would request to go since she's been there before.
I don't think the party's been to Silas's mansion yet.
We went
Yeah,
to
we
the
were
other
there.
mansion. We went to the one outside of the other town.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we went to one of them. I thought that was his main mansion.
He has mansions. He has residences all over the country. He has a house in every city.
So what I'll do is I'll request to see if Mother can send me to where she feels his strongest presence would be felt, so I can try to speak with him.
I'm still gonna see if she even has a staff lock. I think she would, maybe. Uh,
So are we gonna rest before we go exploring, guys?
it's up to y'all.
We should probably rest first.
All right, I'll go 300 feet away. I'll go across from y'all, across the way.
Where can we get some rest?
Here, find a house and sleep.
That's a okay.
Oh, yeah, find a place to sleep.
Oh, why come near me? You can't sleep near me.
Yeah.
I thought you said this is the place we're used to sleep.
No, I was saying I was getting away from the party to sleep.
Yeah, because you have to be 300 feet away from them in order to be able to sleep.
Oh. Let me measure.
I
We
think
gotta be pretty far away then. Holy.
I mean, I can sleep. You just can't.
And where are you?
I'm right here.
Okay, I need to get away from you then.
I think realistically, it's probably like this entire map, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we can't sleep.
Yeah, you see, you basically have to sleep in the castle, the gatehouse.
Oh my god. Where's the castle?
Well, I can go to the castle. I'll go over to the gatehouse for now.
But the issue is still the same. Only two people can sleep.
Well, I mean, once he gets over the castle, y'all can get a full rest.
Oh, is a castle like allow you to sleep like without distance limitation?
Long rest doesn't necessarily mean sleep, I believe. I think it's just low in activity. So
Well, I
Well,
mean, it's the drawback of his items that long as you're in 300 feet of them, you can't get a short or long rest.
you just can't
oh,
relax around him at all right.
it's only him.
Yeah, only him.
Oh, then I don't care. I'm just gonna go find a place to sleep. Otto's gonna go find a place and just take a nap. Where did he go?
You lose
there he
Otto.
is. No, he's there.
Don't know.
Everybody takes a little sleepy sleeps.
Yep.
Another limb attaches the Singe.
He hasn't eaten and for his infusion, and it looks like even if he has the energy, if he doesn't eat on the first day, he still takes a level of exhaustion. So he's actually he's just
remember, you have to. Are you using your points? You have to use you either have to feed or use one of your points.
Is that
Your essence points. Because your consumption essence. As long as you use one of your essence points a day, then you don't get the drawbacks.
Oh.
It's eating it's consuming the items will give you points back as you're using them each day. And if you click on it, it'll tell you how much the rarer it is, the more you get back.
Yeah.
Right over there.
Can he do it unconsciously?
I mean, I feel like probably subconsciously you'd probably end up doing it anyway. So I imagine if Singe has been doing it kind of regularly, then it would probably be automatic.
Keeps it topped up, and so in that sense, all right. So it's for the first time he's eating into his essence pool at all. Is all that's happened.
Yeah.
Okay, so I guess no exhaustion then. That said, I was thinking lore-wise, that doesn't really bring his limbs back. He'll still need to get some like charcoal or something
Okay.
to refuse on the limb.
All right.
I
We'll
sent
get
you a
around to
message.
it.
I sent you a message late for I want to try and do while I'm asleep or resting over here, away from the party.
Okay.
After I take my long rests, I only need 4 hours.
Hey, what do you want to say? Just message me what you want to say.
Okay, I will.
But also don't forget to add that dagger back, because she gave you the one you offered. So is that all of you come though? Consciousness as you wake up. It's a weird place.
Alright.
It's like you notice that there's no. What seems strange about this place is that it's always dark and there's no sense of daylight or evening. It's strange. Time seems very weird here. Like it's always constantly midnight.
Okay. Is Otto the only person in the area?
From where you are.
Where did other people take their rest?
I took it in the gatehouse over here.
What about everybody else?
Hours. And I'd probably make my way back after I've done what I needed to do.
Just needed a lot of rest.
I just needed 4 hours.
She needed 6.
Yeah.
I have lost where my mini went.
You're right here. You're in front of you're in front of the weird. You're in front of the church.
How did I get?
Well, Well, that's where we were going to meet up at. Are we meeting in the square right here, or are we meeting in front of the church? Oh, you
Yeah.
followed me over there when I was swimming in the lava, Taylor.
Why are you swimming in the
Oh.
lava?
I don't know. It looks nice and cozy.
I'll say at this point, as you wake up, there's a flash of fire as Antonia appears next to you, Klaus.
Oh yeah, in the morning I'd also put my mask back on
Okay.
and we attend to it.
So it's above table. So mother wasn't able to send me close to Silas.
Uh, she no, she wasn't able to figure out where he was.
Okay.
Also because of certain precautions he's taken.
When I see Indonia appear next to me, I'll look at her and say, "Welcome back."
She return with a glare and just make a simple request of, I need a meeting one-on-one with Silas.
That can be arranged very easily. When we get back to town, I'll have some of the guys set it up for you. So I have nothing to hide. Like I said, all you have to do is ask. I am an
And
open book.
then
Gore.
she's gonna then make her way over to everybody else. Loop.
See, Father Valix makes his way out of the house, and so does Ollie.
Now, based on the stories from my father, well, stories from my mother about my father, am I gonna recognize Ollie?
Yes. Your Ollie from the stories, not only from your father, but from the tales that are told about him, you're stating a legend.
So, Adonia, her morals, her values, everything that she's been taught, she's gonna walk up to Ali, give him a proper one knee, get down on one knee, give him a little head bow, and then she's going to introduce herself. She's Andonia of the Star Skin. I've heard great things about you. You worked with my father.
See, Ollie kind of looks down. One eyebrow is just raised in confusion. You see, he kind of glances over at Klaus with this look like, what?
I'd say this is Atmosphere's daughter. And while we're on the subject, since everyone's here, I feel like I'm being slighted by Otto here. So, it's Father Valek and Ollie. Could you please tell Otto that even though I do things a certain way, I'm very trustworthy? Have I ever double crossed either one of you?
No, you never double crossed me. Father Balak shakes his head. Oh, you're good in my book.
Did
So,
we
Otto,
just
Even if you're gonna be a
forget?
bastard sometimes.
Did we forget that the lich that we saw in that place that we came from, and he said you take care of it to Klaus.
Well, Otto doesn't know that that was a lich.
Oh, Otto doesn't know what that was a lich.
Because the only.
But does he know that was Silas? He doesn't know that was Silas either, right?
No, yeah,
So at this point, Andonia will stand back up, straighten herself out, turn to Otto, and say, Klaus is working with Silas. who is under a direct contract with my mother, and following a one-on-one meeting with Silas, I will be at the bottom of what is going on.
Okay, I'll take your word for it for now.
You could just ask me what's going on. I'd tell you right now.
Well, I don't trust you that fully, so.
I'll have Father Valek cast Circle of Truth to make sure I'm not lying. Then I'll tell you everything I know.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like just kind of like crossing his arms, like, I can if you want.
Adonia's just gonna turn and look over everybody, and then make eye contact with Father Valek and Ollie, and just state, based on our experiences so far, and my father explaining to me that I should not trust Klaus, I personally will wait until I have my one-on-one meeting with Silas to have a fuller explanation as to what's going on, since based on our encounter that we just had, it seems like Silas is in control and in command right now.
You can even ask these two about my relationship with Silas. Or ask Ollie about what your father did to him and who's trustworthy or not.
Oh, I know my father and Ollie had some issues, but they were also worked out at the end.
That's true. He may have had his moment of weakness, but I saw his loyalties were misplaced and misguided. In the end, he's a good guy.
Antonio would acknowledge it by, like, giving a heartfelt gesture while she was bowing her head to acknowledge that he, said good things about her father.
Yeah.
About you, Otto. Do you trust me now? Or would you like to circle of truth?
No, we don't need Circle of Truth, but I don't trust you fully. I'm just gonna wait for Andonia to find out what's going on.
Works for me. What about the rest of you? Are y'all okay with that?
I'm sure Klaus also has some words for Silas.
Well, it's not as if there's too much else urgent places to be right now, given that that was our final task that we had within that town, and the man that set the quest out is with us right now.
No, it's Silas. Well, if he gets all what to do here, or I can send the soul back.
There's a few places I'd like to check out here.
That being said, when we do return, I believe that we may all want to stop in Vale to resupply anything that we may be missing, but it's not urgent, of course.
I think Ollie's just gonna walk over, sit on the wall, pause, kind of like probably equal to like one of those like long kind of hobbit pipes, like covered in like ivy and vines, and just starts
Right back and use the restroom.
and just starts smoking.
So Donia will come over here by this little pond. And she's just gonna sit and meditate as she awaits word as to when this meeting can happen. Since she just got done resting, so.
Yeah.
Well, shall we head to the church then? Are you coming, Father Valak, or are you hanging out with Ollie?
I'm good. Y'all go ahead.
Let's go then, guys.
Above table, I just love how on my screen it was Klaus saying, "Let's go, guys," as he's taking off down an alley, and everyone's just still just sitting there.
Where do we go?
To the church,
To the church, huh?
directly behind the house.
Directly. Is it this place? Ah, I see.
Right there.
Okay.
Can we get a couple more pings? I don't think there's enough.
So why is it purple? It's kind of hard to see.
It's the
Here,
that's
There you
here,
go.
here,
That's
here,
better.
here. This is the church.
Here.
Orange
Right
is
here.
better. Orange and white.
Here.
You didn't know, this is the church.
There's a beacon. The bat symbols point you to the church. Spotlight. The guards are on lookout.
Everybody going to the Spotlight Church?
All right, I'm back.
Oh, I forgot Phalar had walked away.
As long as someone's carrying Zen, she's still reassembling his limbs. The charcoal is crafting.
Yeah.
Who the church?
So Phalar, everybody went to the church except for Indonia, Thalik, and Ollie.
Yep.
Well, and Singe, I guess.
Unless I was carrying him.
Imagine you probably were, unless you sat down. And
Yeah, I
you weren't.
probably was.
And what here and I say after you, Otto.
Me?
I'll
Why
be
me?
right back when Dennis here.
All right.
Why me? Why
I'll
don't
go
you go in first?
So it takes a couple hours to make charcoal. So should I just chalk that up for the long rest we just had, or should he be trying to do this after the long rest? Yeah, probably after. Shit. So
Late said he'd be right back.
that's fine. I'm asking everyone.
Oh, okay, I gotcha.
Were you passed out during the long rest? At all?
Pretty much during all exhaustion, I think he was just trying to rest to regain his strength to get back to his happy crafting.
If you were
How-
passed out, then I'd say it'd probably be after the long rest. If you were.
Okay, cool. So this is especially horrendous then. He might have realized he can start a fire in the bag of holding and just start burning the chest in the bag of holding to turn into charcoal. And then maybe this is at the point where I'll ask Late when he gets back is maybe this damages the bag of holding, which potentially ruptures it and sends him, and I guess since Singe is wearing it as clothing himself, potentially onto the astral plane.
Wait, what?
I might have seen Singe on accident.
Might have killed Singe, you said?
Wait,
Well, I'm
wait.
sure he could live in the astral plane, but let me recap it. Singe rested during we all agreed Singe probably spent all his exhaustion time just resting and sleeping.
Mm-hmm.
But to recraft his limbs, Singe needed charcoal. He had an old wooden town box in his inventory,
Uh-huh.
and he realized he could start a fire in the bag of holding, which is his clothes. So he needs charcoal to rebuild his limbs. So he decides to just burn the chest and let it burn inside the bag. Not really thinking much about it. So I guess the question then comes to you is, would that potentially rupture or damage the bag of holding? In which case, him and all his whole inventory gets sent into the astral plane?
Well, I mean everything inside the bag is a pocket dimension, so. Tell you what.
Yeah, so that everything in the inventory, surely. I don't know if Singe would be included because he like wears the bag as clothes.
Singe, above table, if you say Bagman 3 times, he'll bring you some charcoal.
Right. I guess I could give maybe like a deck save or something, like throw his clothing off.
Yeah. We'll say make a deck save. You finally realize you're smelling smoke.
It's like, I should be able to smell my usually. Why is my bag kind of feeling wobbly or weird? Deck save. He takes off his of a 20 total. He starts taking off his clothes and looking at the bag, trying to figure out what's going on.
Yeah.
As like a dark patch starts burning through the side, I guess.
Yeah.
Guess what does it look like? Just like eventually that patch like ruptures. It all sucks into itself, and his whole inventory is just in the astral plane.
I'll say unless you I'll say you see this small dark patch that's slowly growing.
Was it?
So,
Who's carrying Singe? Like I imagine you might start smelling the smoke too.
That would be Phalor, yeah.
So you might see like Singe just like moving about a bunch in like, I don't know, your shoulder or hands. How you carrying him?
Like in hands most likely, with kind of near the shoulder now that you've kind of reattached part of yourself.
Above table, I just see it. It's like Phalar suddenly smells smoke, looks over, and there's a naked Singe staring at his clothes.
Oh, one armed, one leg, because he didn't finish making the charcoal.
So yeah, he'd probably kind of look around a little bit and then look down to Singe and be like, something is burning.
Holds up his little robe and I think he's not wearing a hat, but yeah, he's holding up his robe, looking at it. There's a dark patch burning. I don't know Arcana.
Yes, so I'll say, unless Sense can figure out how to repair it, all everything you have in the bag is going to be sent to the astral plane.
Above table, is there a chance that when it goes the astral plane, it shows up at Atmosphere's house?
Well, I mean,
I mean, there is a sliver of a chance, but
yeah.
Atmosphere just enjoying a lemonade, sitting on his porch, enjoying retirement, and all of a sudden shit just starts falling from the sky.
just flaming charcoal and random items.
Okay, I know what's happening. So, because he's one-armed, one-legged, he's holding it up with his one arm, but he doesn't know how to, like... He was, like, when everyone is seated or talking or something, he'd be able to, like, put it on the ground and maybe, like, work with his one arm and leg to, like, widen the bag and his clothes and look inside and do things.
Alright.
So, like, when he's in this situation, he's holding up, he's looking kind of like the fire, like, huh? Like, confused, but like kind of shaking. He's like, something's happening. Uh, hmm. He might try to be like he'll be like spinning it in the air, trying to like get stuff to fall out. But he can't do it with his one arm.
I think
looking alarmed at Phalar.
I think the only way to get everything out is you have to turn the bag inside out, and that would make everything fall out.
I'm assuming when it comes to like bags of holding, most of the stuff about them is probably decently common knowledge because they're pretty staples for explorers.
Yeah.
It's like seeing that Singe is trying to like get the stuff out of the bag. I assume it's pretty obvious that's what he's trying to do.
Yeah.
He'll like kind of get that look on his face, like, oh, when he realizes that the smoking smell is coming from the bag, and then he's like, here, let me help you with that.
He poured out just 29 items of like a barrel, dagger, various tools, hand axe, various ingots, all just come pouring out.
I'd like to imagine, like, if the bag is turned inside out, it just kind of all like projectile vomits into the space in front of wherever the bag is facing.
I think
41 pounds of equipment.
Yeah, that like now that like now very much burning box kind of tumbles to the ground.
It hits like everything probably comes out with like at least a small like toss worth of force, so the box just comes flying out into the floor.
Yeah.
Just falls into pieces.
Probably ruined.
Yeah.
And when the box flies out and it's on fire and hits the ground, Phalar kind of startles slightly, still a bit tense and everything. And he's just like, that's what explained the burning.
And Sin just kind of face palms and is now like, my stuff is all on the ground. What do I do?
We'll figure that out as we go. First things first, we should probably figure out what's to do about the burning box, and also, of course, check to make sure nothing else was damaged.
Water skin should be okay. Just like Sin, water in it.
Yeah.
It singed.
Rope is gone. The tinder box is gone.
What's Klaus doing during all this madness?
I'm just telling Otto he should open the door first.
What's
Why
up?
don't you do it?
I don't feel like opening it.
See, I did what you guys told me last time. Not gonna do it again.
What did you do last time?
Took that guy back to the freaking like to the ruin.
Yeah, what happened?
A bunch of traps activated.
Traps. What do you mean
Yeah.
traps?
Bunch of magical spell traps. So how about you do it this time?
How about I'll dump out a skeleton and tell them to open the door.
Fine by me.
Skeleton opens the door.
I'm gonna back away.
And as the door opens, you see at the very end of the church is this massive flaming portal. And you kind of see there's just this guy at the very back of the church who's kind of just leaning on some books, kind of half drunk. It's like, look at the pretty fire! And he keeps pointing at the portal.
Oi!
Oh.
You there?
What?
What is this place?
Pretty fire! As he keeps pointing to the giant fiery portal behind him.
I'll tell the skeleton to go grab him and bring him over here.
So a drunk guy has a skeleton just suddenly running at him.
He's like,
The Shadowfell, he's probably used to it.
he's like pointing at the skeleton. Who's like he's like barely able to stand. He's like very much leaning on these pile of books just to hold himself up. And it's like the skeleton like tries to grab him. It's like he just leans completely on the skeleton, and the skeleton probably not even be able to hold his weight, just like falls to the ground. And he's just now like on top of the skeleton.
Let's see here.
Who's this guy?
I don't know.
Yeah, so the skeleton is now like on the ground. He's on top of it. On the ground.
I want to cast Frostbite at him to try and wake him up. The cold shock to try and wake him up.
I mean, he's very much awake. He's just drunk out of his damn mind.
I'm hoping the cold will help trying to sober him up a little bit. What I'm trying to do.
Like
try and shock his system.
You see, he kind of like sits up, still like, what? Felt good. Skeleton over here. You stand back up. I'll say you'll start walking very haphazardly and just starts leaning against his pillar. That's as far as he goes.
I'll ask him again. What is this place? What are these? This flaming portal and these. Oh, hold on.
Portals to other places. As he just gestures the entire church.
Well, where do they go?
Pretty nature as he points to the one on the as he points to the one over here, and then points to the other side. Pretty stars, and then big fire as he points to the one behind him.
Otto, do you have anything to make him not drunk?
Let me see.
We're not getting anywhere with this.
I mean,
I would say, like, based on what you've seen, like probably on a scale of 1 to 10, how drunk he's probably at a 9.
I can hold him in place, but that doesn't last that long.
How long does it last?
1 minute.
Alright, hold him in place.
Okay, are you sure?
Yes.
Alright. Otto starts casting Hold Person.
Let's see.
Save DC is 17 and should be Wisdom saving throw.
It's gonna be a disadvantage because he's just drunk out of his damn mind. Well, I'm gonna do this on the camp because why not? It's fun.
Oh yeah, let me switch to that. Nobody else knew that.
Yeah, I set it. So I've set up a dice cam. This is basically equal to like me rolling in front of my DM screen.
Nice.
Camera, which is so my screen can see it. So what's the DC?
17.
Disadvantage. Is a +0, so it's a straight roll at disadvantage. Yeah, it's a natural one.
Nice. Oh, he's stuck there. But he can roll like every 6 seconds.
I mean, every
That's
single one's going to
every-
be a disadvantage.
Yeah.
I like the rolling screen. I see the dice, see the roll, and I
Yeah.
see the baked potato on screen.
Alright, so he's locked into place for now.
Alright. I will.
Like,
Come up
what's
to him.
going on? He's like,
I will.
now standing there stiffly.
I'll slap him in the face, tell him to sober up and answer the questions correctly.
Make a Constitution saving throw at disadvantage. Because he's still +0. 2. Oh. Yeah, unless you want to give him the help action, otherwise it'll be a straight roll. To help him sober.
Yeah, I'll help him sober.
Alright. Single roll. Say he has to beat a... he's pretty drunk, so I'll say he has to roll 15 or higher. Alright. Oh, it's not focusing. My hand out. Come on, focus. Focus. Focus.
There you go. Let's focus.
As its moment.
18.
Alright, yeah, still say he kind of blinks. See, like, his eyes are still glossy. What? And he just points. Kind of now, he says, he points over here. Says Feywild. Astral plane. Hell.
Interesting. Thank you. And do you know anything about the big castle here also?
He shrugs.
So, guys, what do y'all want to do? Should
Nope,
we head
still
to the
fails to
castle,
say it.
or should we head to the castle, or go through one of these portals?
It's a good question. Do we know what's behind the portal?
He said one goes to the Feywild, one goes to the astral plane, and one goes to hell.
Yeah. What he doesn't know. He doesn't know what layer of hell.
But he doesn't.
Hell is it the Tyrus too, and is Dandonia with us?
No, she's over there meditating. But he didn't
Oh,
tell me what layer of hell. He just said hell.
I guess then we'll be visiting Andonia's home.
Well, it depends if we end up on that layer or not.
Yeah.
Sure, she will know.
Well, before we go, should we go check out the castle?
Sure.
What say you, Phalor?
The castle does seem intriguing.
I guess let's make our way there. We should stop by and tell Andonia we found a way to her home. Essentially.
Well, it's not really a castle, it's just two gatehouses.
No, I'm talking to about the castle in the far off distance over there. Oh, is it just two gatehouses?
Yeah, it's just two gatehouses.
It looks like it has a tower and all that. I'm talking about this one over here.
What are you talking about? Are you talking about
The one that's the big circle on it.
this one?
No, this one over here.
Both are. I mean, that's just a. It's still just oh, that one.
Yeah, the one that looks like a castle.
Yeah, you don't know.
Well, let's go back and tell Andonia we found a way to her home and see if she wants to follow us to the castle. What do y'all say? Not everybody answer me at one time.
Above table, this is where I wish I had my little sound pads all hooked up. I could hit one for a cricket.
I know.
Let's everybody want to do. Not everybody talk all at once.
Yeah, classes
Tim's
start
just
talking.
occupied cleaning up his inventory. Shit just littered around and he's trying to
Where's
like
the castle?
one-handed do this.
In the corner over here, this way.
Late, I don't know if you saw it, but Singe sent a message in the above table chat.
Above
Oh yeah,
table.
that's just crafting fusions too. I imagine because no one worries about weight, everyone can just help pick up the stuff. Senju's mostly just setting an embarrassment and wondering how to safely get some charcoal and assemble his missing limb.
Oh, I might need a weapon reinforced. I don't know. I'll have to come talk to Singe.
Well, I think first you gotta get Singe on your side, because I mean, you've earned Singe's trust yet.
I haven't. I'll have to talk to him more. I'll have Derek put in a good word for me. Once I find him again. Wherever he went.
So above table, late, I see zombies, I see skeletons on the board, but around me, is this like, are they just there and weren't ever removed?
What are like around you? They're just the zombies are just aimlessly wandering around.
Yeah, they're just
Okay, because there's also two skeletons there.
Yeah, they're just
Don't
the any undead you see, they're just aimlessly wandering around.
Okay.
Andonia didn't come with us the first time we came here.
Yeah, the undead just kind of wander in the
sentient.
Shadowfell. They're just here.
Yeah, they're sentient too. They'll talk to you if you talk to them.
Yeah,
At least the zombies will. The skeletons probably don't. They don't have tongues.
Let's look at you.
As we come back, I'll walk up to Andonia and tell her the church had some portals that went to the Feywild, the astral plane, and to hell, and that we're planning on checking out the castle if she would like to join.
Also, next time you go there, it's gonna ask you to help her open humidify.
I don't know about helping somebody, but in regards to the other stuff you said. So Andonia, she's meditating, but she knows everybody is there, but she's just simply gonna reply with, "I'm still waiting for my meeting."
Well, your meeting's not going to happen here. It's going to happen once we head back. So would you rather join us and help us get done exploring here first, quicker, or just keep sitting here? Because the quicker we get
Uh,
back, the quicker I can help set up your meeting.
so above table, late and everybody, how do we think this will play out? Because I know you all still have an hour to go or more, but I've got about 8 minutes.
I mean, we'll probably do your meeting next session. Probably what's gonna happen. Since you gotta bounce.
All right, so Antonio will stand up and she'll turn and look at everybody and she'll say, "Well, I'm assuming this portal," and she'll put her hands up and kind of mimic quotes and say, "To my home," is just a generic portal going to hell, and you guys are needing help to figure out where it goes. And she's just
No,
making that assumption.
no, we don't need help knowing where it goes. We're just letting you know what we found in the church, and now we're headed to the castle to see what awaits us there. We don't know where it goes in hell. The gentleman in the church didn't know. He just said hell.
Oh, what level of hell did you come from?
6th.
6. Huh.
3 from the bottom. All right, so I would say the easier one would be if you guys lead me back to this portal. I'll take a look in, see if I can figure out where it goes, and then we can go from there. Where's my cricket button?
Not everybody talks all at once.
Whoever's willing to carry Singe could decide where Singe is going.
And one we can just, since you gotta go soon, we can just fast forward to the church. I'll say, make a.
What I was gonna say, what Antonio does when it gets to the port in front of the portal is she's gonna kind of waist up, lean into it, and take a look.
You can immediately see that, like, you're familiar with the usual screaming, all that jazz, but you immediately see probably way off in the distance a familiar large tower that you recognize that this is a portal to Avernus.
All right, Avernus. I'm trying to remember which level that is.
I think it's the
The 4th?
That is first, I think.
First?
yeah, it's the first level.
Yeah, Avernus is the
First.
top layer.
All right. So then Antonio will come back, turn and look at everybody and say, this takes you to top level.
I
So if you
think
ever
that
want
the
to see,
biggest. Yeah.
if you ever want to see, people coming in on the river Styx in the boat, you can take a look through there and you'll see it.
All right. So I'm guessing you're just going to hang out here, then in Donia, till we come back from the castle.
Phalar will he'll probably be like at the doorway to the church still, and after hearing you say that, he'll be kind of like looking over And he'll be like, does it seem like the ground is like loose or sandy at all? I know
Well-
that sounds strange, but it has a point. He kind of shouts that over to Indonia.
Late.
Um,
So when I looked in there, is the ground look sandy?
like
I guess is what he's
loose
asking.
or anything. Like, you know, like when dirt gets dry enough and you can like pick up handfuls of it and it gets all dusty.
I'll say yeah. You see, it's like you'll see like it's not really quote dirt. It's probably more like ash.
But it is loose enough that you could probably move it around.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming Indonia probably says yeah. So then he'll kind of
Above table, real quick. Is that something like if enough of the ash, add a little water to it, you could compress it into a solid?
What make infernal mud?
No. I'm thinking makeshift charcoal for Singe.
Oh
Yeah.
god, we're gonna infuse Singe with demonic energy.
I mean, it's possible.
Singe is
gonna-
gonna get a new feat and he's going to regain his fire resistance that he lost from the card and become creature type fiend.
So I'm gonna I'll give this information to Singe, letting him know, hey, through the portal on the ground, there's a heavy amount of ash. If a proper amount of water to ash ratio was used, you'd be able to compress it together to make a makeshift charcoal to help out with your limbs.
He seems curious about it.
You know, it's odd that you mentioned that because I was going to ask if I could get a sample of it. Anyways,
What Andonia will do, since she already knows what's on the other side, is she'll lean over and she'll take her little flamey cape and she'll scoop as much of that ash into it as she can and then bring it back to Singe and Phalar.
I also have a full map if y'all actually want to go there.
we could, but I think that we've got a couple split priorities right now.
I'm down to go there if we want to head there after the church. I'm at the castle and come back and go in.
I think, I mean, yeah, that would be kind of interesting, but we should probably get ourselves stocked a little before we go jumping into the first layer of hell.
Yeah, also, we don't know if we can get back or not if we go through that portal.
Exactly. That was the other thing I was going to say. We don't know if it's a round trip. And if we're going to go jumping into the first layer of hell, we should probably make sure that if it's not a round portal, we have a way back. And that
You
we're
guys
properly
jump
supplied.
onto this ever-living battlefield with this handicap kid.
So regarding that, I think I
Oh, yeah,
have a
you
way to
do
get us
have-
back.
You do have one use of plane shift, don't you?
I do.
Not
Hey.
plane ship, but something else.
Oh yeah.
It's like a 8th or 9th level spell. I don't remember which one.
Gate.
Was it? Yeah,
Gate.
gate.
Okay.
Oh yeah, you can.
That's a
You
that's a
can.
ninth level spell.
Yeah.
So above table, Andonia being who she is and who her mother is, in hell, at least in from levels 1 through 6, her name and her word would carry some weight then, wouldn't it? I'm assuming 7, 8, and 9, they would know the name and who she's associated with. But like say 1 through 6, if something goes to
Wait.
attack,
I mean, remember, there's a constant bickering between the lords, so over power. So
oh I know, but I'm not saying like, so if we're about to be attacked by a demon, if Andonia speaks up, says who her mother is, who she is, and says, "We're just passing through," there's a chance that the demons, as long as they don't have someone of like a commander or somebody with them, would back off.
Yeah, there's a chance.
Also, if it was just like a random mugging by a devil or demon.
What? But there's also possibility that your mom has enemies.
Definitely has.
Oh, I know.
Definitely has enemies.
Yeah, I know. I know. Mother has enemies.
Yeah.
That's why it was a here's the top half of my body through the portal just to see where I am. So, above table or in game, however this wants to work. Since I do gotta go, what Indonia is gonna do is I'm gonna try and have this make sense. So while you guys are going to the portal, because you know she is homesick, or not the portal, but the castle, since she's homesick, what she's gonna kind of do is, all right. So I don't want this to sound stereotypical, but you know how like mainly movies that are set in the South, when someone has a porch on their house and they have the wood railing, people will sit on the wood railing and kind of down the middle
Yeah.
where a leg is hanging off, but then a leg is on the other side of it, and they're just kind of staring off into enjoying the scenery.
Yeah.
So she's gonna sit down on the portal base, so that way half of her is in and half of her is out, so she can enjoy the sights and kind of, even though it's not the 6th level, but she's kind of home,
Yeah.
just enjoying it while they go to the castle.
Alright. Yeah, that works.
Alrighty. Alright, you all enjoy whatever happens at the castle.
I'd
Sure,
also
man.
say we should probably ask how much of that ash got passed back over to us.
Like I said, I took the cape part of my cloak, and I just scooped up as much as I could and brought it to you two.
So it'd
Yeah.
probably
So
be
that-
like either like on a roll or just like a thing that gets determined.
I mean, I don't
I
think
would
we need.
estimate like I was gonna say I would estimate like if you go to the beach, you have your little sand bucket. I would estimate like 2 of those.
Yeah,
worth.
yeah, like 2 buckets. We'll say.
That's what I'm assuming.
Yeah. I'll say.
So just a sand bucket, not like a 5-gallon bucket or anything.
Yeah.
It's like the one you'd make a sandcastle out of.
I'll say you have about 7. Yes, we'll say you have a good amount. Whether or not if you want to be specific, well, entirely up to you.
Suddenly
I'll say
hitting
what I
late
attempted to
with
bring.
stuff.
I'll say what Andonia attempted to bring back is roughly, let's say, 8 pounds of the ash.
Alright, that works.
All right, you all have a good one. We'll catch you next
Alright.
time.
Alright.
See ya.
I'll probably hold on to the ash until Singe is, and I'll say this in character. Like Singe, if you don't mind, until you're in a bit better shape, I'll hold on to the ash and then maybe keep a little bit for my own studies and let you take the rest.
He'll nod and be like, okay. And since he's probably carrying everything in his inventory technically now because he has no bag of holding or clothes. He
Yeah.
needs a long rest to recreate all that. So yeah, he's just
Yeah,
kind of bulky and thinking to
that's yet
himself.
another reason that I said that we should probably get ourselves stocked up somehow before we go heading in there if we decide to.
Yeah, because you don't know if it's going to be a round trip or not.
Yeah, I think the 3 main points. Well, 4 main points. One of our party members is currently debilitated. We don't exactly have like a knowledge if it's a round trip or not by the portal, but we do have other ways back. We don't know what we're gonna see on the other side, and that we should probably get ourselves a little supply before doing a hell dive.
Is it Klaus the only one of a way out, or was Otto saying he had like a spell?
Otto
to get out?
has one-time use of the spell Gate.
What's Gate do?
It lets you basically you can create like a big gateway to another plane.
So if you imagine
Oh.
like Elder Scrolls Oblivion, the big Oblivion gates, pretty much when he casts it, it creates a giant portal into one other plane.
Can Singe insight into Otto's opinion of him and the rest of the party? If he feels like he would be likely to like open the gate for the party and not just take off on his own, possibly like Klaus.
Yeah, yeah, you can roll it.
Strongest since nope, not 5. He's just not got a read on him at all.
Nope, yeah, you have no idea.
He'll just wave at Otto and see how he's acting in general, I guess.
So, question is, how is Otto acting in this moment?
He does not seem like he is going to just run off. He is how do I describe it though?
Autopilot, not particularly all there. Autopilot.
Did you voice your concern about Otto running off?
Oh yeah, he's just waving, just seeing how he reacts.
He's just
wave
waving
back.
at him. I think Otto would be more confused than anything.
He'll wave Otto over.
You want Otto to walk towards you?
Yeah, he'll start waving him over too.
Okay, I mean, would you ask him?
Are you a friend?
Would Descent actually ask him?
Yep. Are you a friend? Or are you like that man? He says all menacingly, pointing at Klaus's direction, trying to stay out of view.
I am not a bad
Who's
man.
Batman? But I think I'm not him. I won't just run away.
He'll turn to Faye to get his opinion.
Otto seems to have good intentions, even if he may be a bit quiet sometimes. I mean, he's helped us as it has been.
Syndrome will nod along and go, oh, okay. Maybe he'll give a happy wave again to Otto.
Otto hasn't done anything suspicious yet.
Yeah, that's why he's willing to talk to you.
Yeah.
Can I try and tell Otto an omen? Like,
What?
Sure.
because it's something I need to do.
What?
It's what I had to do.
What, is it a feature of your mask or?
No, from what I rolled with the hand.
Oh yeah.
Prophecies or omens. I know how to. I'm trying to think of a good omen.
Is there equivalent of a shop on this plane? I go shopping.
No, not really.
Darn it.
Town's kind of in a disheveled state, kind of barely.
Oh yeah. I guess Sindrid also like make a point of like communicating to Faye. It's just like he's like out 1,000 gold in materials, and it's gonna take a long time to rebuild his defender and stuff, and apparently get anything really rebuilt for Singe. That last fight really wiped him out.
Taylor kind of gives a nod, and he's like, "Well, I do have a couple thousands in gold, and I do have the remainder of those gems. We can get you back on your feet. It won't be long, just a quick trip to Vale, whenever that may be, or some other town that's got a wide selection of options, and we'll have you back on your way."
I mean, the town may not be like in best shape, but I mean, like you could scrounge materials here. I mean, it may not be the
Yeah.
best quality, but there's stuff here.
You're carrying some ingots. Singe has stuff. It would just take some time to smith all that, infuse things.
Yeah.
So I don't know if we want to linger here while he like recrafts things. I mentioned in the group chat he might be able to like magically enhance stuff if anyone's interested in that, which so far only Klaus is, which is not currently standing well on Singe. I did put in out of character chat. I had an idea for a shift weave armor set, steel defender. Singe might like try to like enhance it to be a little more sturdy, resist his own flames, or at least have better strength mechanics.
You're saying so you're trying to like build the Shadow Weave armor into
Yeah, shift weave armor on its own. It's just cloth. It's clothing that like has 5 different forms essentially. Typically only cloth. I was asking for permission to basically do an armor version of it.
yeah,
Maybe make like a fire resistant fusion version.
yeah, I allow.
Strength.
If
Okay.
you use one of your fusions to shift it.
Wonderful. Yeah, no, I do that. I'm eating up a few fusions as well for the knowledge of making those armors too. It's a matter of how much time we have and what our goal is in recent minutes. Are we actually going to linger and spend time to like let Singe craft shit, or do we have like something pressing we want to go to?
We're just gonna check out that castle, but other than that, we don't have anything.
Okay. So, seeing as Faye's carrying Singe and everything kind of depends on getting time, Singe is just hanging out his one-armed, one-legged self.
All right.
I would like to tell Otto that prophecy and have him believe it.
How do you plan on making him believe the prophecy?
I'm gonna persuade you.
Yeah, roll persuasion.
Okay.
And I'll say, auto make a insight.
I have some prophecies that I've got made up right here. I'm trying to see which one I want to read.
14 for insight.
Persuasion. 19.
Oh my god.
Seems, yeah, go ahead and tell him. It seems believable.
Alright, let me see. The hand that guides you, Otto, will be the hand that shatters your trust. In the moment of your greatest need, the one you swore to protect or who swore to protect you shall deliver the deepest wound. Their whispered name will be your curse, as all you have built crumbles to dust and shatters away.
Can you like make a copy of that? Send it to me to DM.
I will.
So he's gonna be betrayed.
It's a prophecy.
Mm-hmm. Interesting prophecy.
Here, hold on. I'm gonna put it in player notes. There you go.
Can the bag of holding clothing one of those armor modes? It'll be a drawback that if the steel defender dies, it'll probably act like a bag.
And I'm gonna
Drugs.
send this to you late. This is what it said.
Alright.
How it leads it to it. I don't know if you need that or not. I'll let you take over from there, or
Alright.
Why do you have a prophecy for me, though?
it came to me last night.
You, you can tell. You can tell for like future.
No, I can't foretell the future, but I had something come to me and give me this prophecy.
Okay. Okay, I believe it.
Alright, I have a few ideas for this. Would you pin that for me?
Yes, I will.
Because it won't let me for some reason.
Yeah, I'll pin it. Oh yeah, pin it. All right, to the castle we go then.
Seems like it, yes.
And don't worry, Otto. I'm sure nobody's gonna betray you right now.
Sure.
At least I know I won't. I don't know
Sure.
who swore to protect you or who you trust the most, but we already know it's not me.
Yeah, it's not you.
You're the safest. Technically, you're the safest with me.
Thalar kind of gives like a faint chuckle, and he's just like, well, I suppose in that case, if the omen or prophecy did say the one that you put trust into protecting, then if you don't trust Klaus, then it can't be him.
Yeah. Yeah, that means I should be friend with him. I think that's what the prophecy is telling me.
I told you I'd never betray you.
And then you become the person who he trusts the most, and then you betray him. Is I
The
think
problem-
it sounds
I
like
mean, it's somebody you already trust.
Wait,
somebody I already trust.
temple
I
we
don't know.
left. Weren't
Huh?
we supposed to get wasn't someone sending us there on purpose? So is there a reward we still gotta collect for that?
Father Valek sent us there. He's with us right now.
Yeah.
Oh, was he doing anything in exchange, or did we just decide to join it?
You don't know what the reward is.
Yeah, he said he was going to join us on the quest. He said
That
he was going
he
to show us the way.
gave. Oh, okay.
It's like he gave you the quest, said, I'm good because of what this involves. For me and my order, I'm coming with you guys.
Okay.
But I feel like officially you haven't turned it in yet because you're kind of went barreling off to the Shadowfell. So we just want to fast
Alright.
forward to the.
Yeah, we can. Over to the castle.
How far is it?
Like way over in the far corner.
Oh, it's on this map.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you're looking north, it's northeast. Oh, I should get there's a compass down there in the bottom left hand.
Why is Baylor in the church?
I just hadn't moved my model.
I can just teleport you over there.
Yeah, that'd probably be faster. My mouse keeps acting up, so I just hadn't moved myself yet. I keep having to unplug and put it back in. I think the connection might be a little messed up. Might have to spray some air in there.
And
A few
then
things here. Yeah, I guess teleport us all to wherever we're starting.
And then Otto's over here.
Yeah,
Somewhere.
Otto, I guess.
Oh, okay.
I just want to say above table real quick, like I do feel the need to just like slightly say like a joking sorry about the fact that I keep randomly throwing in the collecting of objects towards you late because it's spontaneous and I'm pretty sure you weren't expecting to have to detail us collecting ash.
Yeah, Ash from Avernus. Yeah, that wasn't planned.
Just yeah, exactly. That's why I have to say like a slight joking sorry about the random collecting of
I
materials.
think that's great.
Yeah.
Apparently, this could be character development for Singe if he actually gets a weird demonic limb.
Oh my god, imagine it just has a mind of its own and we end up having another Hand of Vecna
I can
situation.
already see his own arm is like strangling him on your shoulder, and he's just like. "Ah."
there is a Grim Hollow has a fiend transformation.
Oh God.
Oh yeah, it does. Grim Hollow's got some pretty wicked stuff in it. Just as a quick side thing, I won't get too much detail in it, but there is a barbarian subclass called Carrion Raven, and they get access to what are called primal maneuvers, which is pretty much they draw on like the well of energy of, you know, the ancient people. And one of the things that they have is called Apex Dominance, and it lets you deal an additional 5d10 damage to an enemy, and if it drops them to 0, you rip them into shreds.
You know, it's
Sometimes
no, it's
find
fun.
it
It's
trying to
funny
get off.
in a book that's come out that's apparently somebody another campaign I'm running has. They create a wizard subclass for the barbarian, but it's like
Oh,
if you look at his spells, they're like
physical magic.
yeah, burning hands. He sets his hands on fire.
That's actually really
Magic
fun.
missile grabs somebody and throws them.
I'd like to imagine that, like, because you imagine a barbarian who actually
Silence rips
does
their tongue
just
out.
like random bullshit like
Oh.
that so much that it actually becomes their somatic and verbal components for spells, and they somehow manage to tap into the weave without knowing it.
Cast
Don't
blind, I
worry,
rip their eyes out.
Phalar. Don't worry too much about like having to keep up with that. He's having to keep up with a big family tree for Klaus right now.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
That
I'm
fella's
taking part of the weight myself as well because I'm keeping track of all of the random bullshit I'm picking up off of the ground and stuff in my component pouch. So
Yeah, I'm keeping track of it too. Just to
Well,
help.
but not just that. Plus, there's another complication we just added.
Yeah.
I just sneakily
Real-
delete things off the map as I pick up a barrel or a chest here.
so just a quick above table thing for anyone that wasn't here this session that I said it. The reason that uh Phalar keeps collecting odds and ends is because he's got like a slight peaking interest in alchemical stuff happening in his brain due to his interest in alcohols and things.
Ooh.
Ah, interesting.
That's also why he keeps suggesting going back to Vale because he wants to go to the magic shop and see if any of the stuff he's carrying is actually worth keeping.
Are you gonna take
As
levels in Artificer?
I might honestly, I'm not sure yet.
as we approach this castle,
Uh-huh.
Klaus is going to mention to the party, does this castle seem like maybe a vampire would live here?
I do have to say it is rather ominous. Kind of look it over. He's like, it is, I believe, what they would refer to as Gothic architecture.
What do you say, Otto?
What?
I
Hey,
just text
wait,
you
no.
Singe gasp at the mention of a vampire.
No, you know what's funny is that you said, what do you say, Otto? And Otto said, what?
He's over there contemplating his prophecy.
I mean, yeah, all things considered, you did just prophesize that he's going to have some massive betrayal from someone that he cares about. And then you're like, all right, time to go see the castle.
So, Otto, do you think this could be a vampire castle? It's giving off those vibes to me.
Let me take a look at this castle. Oh yeah, could be a vampire castle. But is there any signs of vampire?
Not that we've seen, but there's undead around already.
Well, you haven't dead. Are you a vampire?
No.
So maybe vampires and maybe undead is not a good indicator.
That's also the design of this place, like Phalar said, it's gothic. Kind of how a vampire likes their house.
The owner of the
And
castle
it's
could just be a gothic fan.
and it's really over the top for this rest of the buildings that are here. Something a vampire might do.
They might just have a lot of money.
True.
Taylor kind of puts his hand on his chin and like the thinking thing and looks up and he's kind of like, you know, most of the buildings in this town seem to be rather run down. This one seems to be rather kept with.
That's true.
It would appear that I'm guessing a lot of the buildings, at least around half that are within the town, are probably abandoned, and clearly this either isn't or has only recently been vacated.
Well, Phalar, do you want to do the honors and knock?
Kind of looks back for a moment, looks down at the ground, looks over at the door. Like, well, I suppose it is my time. Everyone else has approached the door, and I still have yet to do so. He'll walk up to it, and he'll reach up and use the knocker that's on the door.
Oh, like it's one of those overly obnoxious knockers as you
Like the gargoyle with the ring in its mouth.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's what's on the door. I see it.
There's a long pause for the door opens. You see a trying to find a mini. Who's her? I can get Hellspire to give me the mini. The stupid community tab. Oh, it is there. The walls are in the way. Yeah, that was it. The doors kind of open. See this almost pale white woman, long kind of white hair falls past her shoulders. She kind of looks at you, burning red eyes, and says, "Can I help you?"
Taylor just kind of straightens up a little bit, and he just, well, me and my compatriots here were on our way through the area, and we saw this quite magnificent building set in the distance, and Well, we were curious to know who it was that lived here.
This is my father's castle.
Yeah, we ask what your father's name.
He kind of looks you over. And why is that any of your business? You came knocking at my
Insight.
door.
Just curious.
Our friend here is quite the curious one. He is a seeker of knowledge, perhaps you might say.
I hear somebody yell insight.
Yeah, Singe would be want to read their character if there's any
Uh,
sort of hostile intent.
You said insight?
Yep.
I mean, even for those trying to read her. Yeah, roll it.
I got a 2.
Yeah, you have no
I
idea.
have a +2. I
Nice.
might as well. We'll see what everyone rolls.
She sure is pretty.
I think. Oh, there it is. 14. I was like, I think my die went into the abyss, but no, it rolled.
God.
I would say, yeah,
Uh,
Singe and
Oh.
Singe and Klaus
Oh.
have no idea.
I got a
Uh,
25.
I got a 25.
No, you
I know
see,
your
you see,
father.
it's her intent is very much from a precaution standpoint, and concern on.
So it's less she's aggressive and more she's trying to figure out why these people just showed up at her door.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
Like, instead of us gauging her, she's gauging us.
Yeah,
Which is pretty understandable.
he is definitely like eyeing y'all up and down, very much studying y'all as he's having this conversation.
And probably, noticing that and everything, Baylor kind of gives like a step back a little bit. Not enough to make it look like he's like afraid, just enough to kind of give space, and then like relaxes his stance just a little, but still remains alert, just to kind of give like a bit more of a casual appearance. And he's just like, we are relatively unfamiliar with most of the residents in this particular area, and it really was curiosity that led us to your doorstep.
You also see like two other like hunched over figures, pale skin, kind of like sharp claws, kind of like or like kind of like skulking behind her, but kind of at a distance. I see. Is there curiosity is a interesting thing.
It is.
It can also get one into trouble if they're not careful.
There is many a saying from many a generation and culture about such things.
That's true. Now, is there a reason why you came to my father's castle?
Klaus would speak up and say, "We were just passing through, and this castle caught my gaze, and I invited my friends to follow me along to see what it was all about. And I was seeing if, since somebody lives here, if you would like to invite us in for dinner, and I'll pull out my Demon's Veil wine I have in my bag of holding, and I have this to Demon's Veil wine to offer as a drink to go along with dinner, if you'd so graciously have us."
Make a persuasion check. As she's
He
still
tries
very
to-
much unsure of all of this.
20. And as I'm saying that, I will remove my mask too, so she just doesn't see a blank, glowing, purple-eyed mask.
I don't forget to roll the damage for taking it off.
Yep, 2 psychic damage, 2 d6s. Psychic. 8 points of psychic damage.
Give me a moment. As she turns and walks away, she kind of barks. She looks over at them and says, "Watch the door." And these two kind of step forward, kind of guarding the doorway.
I will.
You did definitely tell that these figures are. They're all either vampires, but they seem way more feral.
I'll have that skeleton that was at the church come back out, because I've already been using him.
Alright.
And tell him to get on all fours to make a seat for me, and I'll sit on his back and pull out my pipe and start smoking it as we wait. What about the rest of y'all?
Taylor is just still kind of in like that half cautious, half relaxed stance, trying to keep his distance from the door. And looking out around the area and up at the building and being like, under his breath, just kind of like, damn, that's a tall building.
I'll look back at Otto and say, Otto, you don't have to worry about these people betraying you.
Yeah, they'll only feed off you.
Otto was saying, "Can we take a tour of the castle?"
I'll kind of look back and I'll kind of be like, I believe that if we want such a thing, we would have to get inside first.
You see, these like very feral vampires are just standing there, kind of claws out, just intensely staring at both of you.
What about you, Singe?
They very much have a look like, "Come at me, bro."
Singe is just quietly hiding on Phalar's person, watched observing.
You after about probably 10 or so minutes, you hear what sounds like the sounds of heavy metal on stone. Getting closer and closer before you see
Above table, what do y'all think would happen if I go to put my pipe up and I drop out of my chest? I have the holy symbol and stakes in my chest.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
I'm not gonna do it.
you see this very well manicured, pale figure, red eyes. It's in very finely dressed. As he kind of walks forward, these two kind of immediately part out of the way. So, you want to come into my castle, have dinner? Tell me. Give me one reason why I shouldn't have me and my children feed on you, and you be our dinner.
I can't think of any good reasons, so I'm just gonna.
As you start to say, I can't think. Phalar just kind of looks back at you with that look like no. He just has that look on his face, and even on his skeletal side of his face, you can see the expression kind of show through.
I will.
Like, look up, just don't do anything.
Just like, don't say it.
He said, "I can't think."
And then he just sees that look on Phalar's face and just stops.
I will look at him and say, you could do that. I have died once before and came back, so I'm not particularly afraid of death. But if you look here at my hand, and the last man that killed me, I am now wearing his body parts. and it was Vecna. You know of him? As I keep smoking my pipe. It's not a threat, it's just a rebuttal.
So you're just kind of saying it casually.
Yeah. Not
Like
as a
as if you were
threat,
just
but
in normal conversation.
yeah, not as a threat, but saying I've died once before to
I've
somebody
died once before, and also it was Vecna
more
that killed me, and
powerful.
now he's
Yeah.
part of me.
Real Vecna was always a egotistical asshole. As he just says it like almost nonchalantly, like almost more like a so what.
You're right, he was, but he was also quite powerful. And I'm not here to argue back and forth. I just was taking a stroll, saw this beautiful castle, and mentioned it to my friends to follow me as we came to see who lived here. And I bring some wine with me to show we are not hostile.
I see.
I think Thalar will kind of raise his hand slightly and gesture, and just kind of be like, and that's besides the point as well, that half of us wouldn't be very pleasant of a feast anyways. I am mostly ethereal, and the friend I am carrying is made of wood.
His eyes shift over to Otto.
That one has a certain sense about him. I feel that with some strange happenings around him recently, it would be unwise to anger whatever it is that watches him.
Make a persuasion check.
There's like a look of actual concern on Thalar's face as well when he says that.
I think not just that, but you can tell like as guarded as she looked, you can tell he is very much not only very guarded, but like you can just tell like the wheels are turning as he's watching y'all.
I'm going to throw this Beyblade spinning D20 into the abyss. There it goes.
12.
I don't have proficiency on persuasion.
Question above table.
Uh-huh.
Can vampires, I know some vampires can and some can't. Can vampires in this D&D um, setting, are they able to see memories and stuff of the people they feed off of?
Um, they can.
They can.
They can, but it also depends on like whether or not like they have a choice when they feed. They can either choose to do that or it's just purely for feeding. If it's purely for feeding, then it's more about the blood than they just need to block out those memories or anything they get.
Well, I will then offer to both of them standing here. Why don't y'all feed for me and see my memories and see if we are trying to do you harm?
You kind of just glances over,
I'm not afraid of a little bite.
glances over one of the spawn, and just like flicks his wrist forward, his finger forward, and this one moves forward towards you.
I will. Let's see. I will. Uh. Trying to see what I can do here. How big of a radius is this? I don't want to do that. I just want to push it away. I was gonna do a spell, but I just want to push it away and say, not these lesser creatures, but one of you two.
I mean, he's already given the command, so it's already going to try and bite you. So I'll say make a. It'll be athletics of you versus the spawn.
Okay. 23.
I roll a natural 20 for 23.
Even.
Yeah, so I'll say.
Help me out, Phalar.
I'll say
Push it on.
I'll say it's more like.
I do have proficiency in athletics.
So I'll say it's more like, you know, like you like you're like you have your hand on its head and it's like moving its arms frantically. It's like just out of reach, kind of like that, and it's just like frantically trying to claw at you, and then claw and bite at you. Like you're almost dealing with you're just frantically trying to, yeah.
I would say.
So it's
to him,
like cartoon
say-
scene.
Yeah. I'd say to him once again, I want one of you two to feed on me and get my memories, not this one.
Make
I
another
hate y'all.
make another persuasion. He's still very much guarded.
Oh, are you gonna roll? Fuck. 15.
Why should I? You knock on my door, demand I feed on you.
I'm not demanding you feed on me. I'm just saying you cannot trust us. And if you cannot trust us, I'm offering for you to feed on me. And you can see all my memories and everything that's happened to me. And you can see if we bring you any ill will or not.
I believe his intention is more. If you believe that you cannot trust us, he is offering to show you his entire life's memories as a way to show that you can trust what we are saying, if he's willing to show his entire life to you. Taylor's just kind of remarking that in an attempt to support you.
Give me 1 second. I'll be right back and we can continue on 1 second.
What would I roll against Singe's fear of creatures?
But if it's a fear, it'd be a wisdom save.
No, not brave enough to even attempt this. Okay. Yeah, I
Yeah.
was
Singe is too busy
considering
freaking
Flash
out.
of Genius to buff the vampire against Cloud. But
Yeah,
No.
if you did that, that would make his roll against the spawn.
fail. +4.
Yeah.
But Singe ain't that evil, and he's too afraid of the vampire to help it.
Okay.
I don't even know what that would translate into in game. Like Singe throws something distracting at Klaus.
Okay, I'm back. Sorry, my wife thought our dog had to tick on her.
I think as more as you talk to this vampire lord, he sees very much like you definitely tell he is very much not only cautious but like you can definitely tell by his facial expression that it almost seems like he has no interest in biting you.
I think Singe maybe pulling at Feor's clothes, being like he wants to get her further away from these things.
think Phalar will actually, because he was already going to. Like, well, we of course only came out of a manner of curiosity and courtesy, but I do not believe that we would want to anger you in any way if our presence is doing such.
I think he'll snap his fingers and the spawn will retreat back inside.
I will want to offer him that dagger I got back. Be like, please, take this as a gift. Tell Allison. I mean you no ill harm.
Oh,
So you're just gonna like set it on the steps?
Yes.
Alright.
And I will also set, so precious to me, I will give him one of my large arcane batteries also.
See, like he still doesn't approach. A spawn kind of comes up, kind of still staring at you, kind of on fours, grabs it, retreats back, just saying, "I will look at it," and then kind of snaps his fingers again, and the door's shut. And then they shut with a heavy thud.
I'd say probably like as the doors are shutting, Phalar is just kind of like, "Would you like us to wait here?" Or and then the doors probably close.
Never
Klaus,
mind.
Klaus is gonna sit back down on that skeleton and keep smoking, and just wait and see if the doors open again. So, fellas, what are y'all doing? I'm gonna wait here and see how this pans out.
Cindy's just giving a sigh of relief.
Dang, I should have gave him that. I didn't realize that was worth so much. Should have given him a vial of the wyvern poison I have.
Hmm.
Dang.
I think probably after an hour. Are the rest of you gonna wait outside with Klaus or?
Yeah.
Otto, are you waiting or are you gonna wander off?
He's gonna be waiting.
Cinder's helpless. He ain't really doing anything.
So I think probably you see the same spawns kind of open the door. These crystals are of interest to me.
Yes. And I have a way of getting more.
My daughter will bite you as she steps forward. Are you just gonna? You're not even gonna resist. You're just gonna let her bite you.
Yeah, I'll either open my neck up or reach out my non-Vecna hand, whichever she prefers.
Oh God! Imagine accidentally reaching out the wrong hand and she gets Vecna's memories.
See, like she's gonna be walks. She's almost like with unnatural speed. Is like the air kind of shifts. She's in your face. She grabs your hair, pulls it back with almost unimaginable strength, and then bites into your neck. But you do take 6 points of piercing damage
All right.
and
Level drain.
8 points of necrotic damage, and your HP maximum is reduced by 8 until you finish a long rest.
So I have resistance to necrotic, so it'd be 4.
but that still reduce your max HP by 4.
Yes. And let's see here.
You can probably just if you do the override for your HP.
Yeah, if you just click on HP, it should let you change like max stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, I have an urge to undeath because I'm a necromancer, and your HP maximum can't be reduced.
Okay.
Imagine Adonia comes back and we all find a way to reduce our level.
As she kind of like pulls away, she like wipes the blood from the back of her hand, kind of licking her fangs, and then kind of goes back and whispers something into her father's ear. After probably like 5 or so minutes of her whispering, she kind of takes a step back and saying, "Interesting. So you speak of some truth."
Speak only the truth.
Very well, you may have dinner. I can't guarantee that my spawn will want you to be at the dinner, but you are welcome to come in.
Did you say your spawn or your mom?
Are you saying that in character?
No, above table.
He said I can't guarantee you that my spawn
Okay.
will want to have you for dinner.
Oh, okay, I gotcha. Then, my request, may I have my bodyguard accompany me just to keep unwanted fighting away from me?
Find him.
See what he says.
Is the slat still invisible or?
He's invisible right now until I get an answer from him. And whatever he says will determine if I may tell him to drop invisibility or not.
Oh, well, there he is. Alright, you should have control over him.
Yes, I do.
And we can unique. There we go. And who is this bodyguard?
I'll tell the sled to drop invisibility.
Alright. Kind of look over at the slab, kind of gaze it up and down. It can come. And he and the daughter are going to as he's turning away, saying, "Follow me. It is almost feeding time."
All right.
He'll turn and start walking up the stairs. You see that the spawn are still very much they're following you kind of at a distance, but very much watching you, kind of licking your lips.
I'm all look back at the guys behind me and say, "Are y'all coming?" The
Trying
spawn's
to.
gonna be in between us.
I had to lower my cutoff.
Y'all may get attacked by the spawn since they're in between us.
They're kind of following up the rear.
Oh, okay.
That's where my cutoff is, so I need to raise it. There we go.
Okay, where do I go from here?
He's just leading you up the stairs.
Oh, there's more stairs here. I see
Yeah.
it. Oh, over there.
Yeah.
Oh, they went those stairs.
Yep.
Oh.
I can always just teleport you guys up.
Yeah, I got it. I teleported myself over.
Okay. You just
I
kind of
forgot how to. Oh,
you hold shift and then drag yourself.
why am I purple? I just noticed that.
That's your ghost form, ain't it? You've always been purple.
No,
Are you talking
my
about
base is purple.
Oh, I don't know.
Let's continue going upstairs. Go through more doors. Into the dining hall. You see there's this spectral image of this. You see there's just a spirit of this kind of woman kind of just hanging there. You see long hair. You can't really tell because her transparent, her like visitance of her ghost form, but it's like she's floating probably about 20 or so feet above y'all, kind of near the ceiling. And you just see there's this other figure with a staff who's kind of standing by the other end of the table. Please sit. And he's gonna go and take a seat.
I will tell the sled to go.
She will take her
Corner.
seat.
I guess I will come over to this side and sit. I'll look back at the rest of the guys and say, "Come on, don't be shy."
Let's see, he kind of like
Words.
lets out two claps, and you see like some of this. So you see like more spawn are kind of drifting in, but they're carrying like plates of like more of just added. They just keep moving food onto the table.
Laura's sitting, and as they're moving out, as he's looking around, um, he probably kind of remarks loud enough for the vampire lord to hear. He's just kind of like, this architecture is quite well done. It's got a certain touch to it I've seen in some other elaborate buildings, but it is unique in its own right.
I paid a lot of money to build it.
I can only imagine.
Construction was completed quickly, especially when your builders don't need to sleep.
That does, I'd imagine, increase efficiency quite a lot.
Well, I believe introductions are due for everyone. I'm sure y'all have a glimpse of who I am, but let me officially introduce myself. My name is Klaus Silo Ravenheart, and these are my companions. And we were here seeing a friend of mine who lives here in Evernight.
I see. As he kind of I I'm Lord Venice Duskfader, and this is my daughter, Ophelia. She kind of does a slight bow with her head.
I'll give a elegant grace return or something a noble would do back to somebody of importance when they're introduced,
Okay.
since he is of
Yeah.
a pretty high standing background himself.
He'll kind of look over at the rest of the party. And the rest of you are?
Fowler gives like the kind of respectful, like the slow nod, like kind of like the shoulders down, kind of like the kind of ancient Japan kind of thing, and but without the hand movement. And because I am known as Valar Devisio, I come from quite an complicated past, as you could probably tell from my appearance, but I must say that it is quite a pleasure to make your acquaintance. The one I am carrying is going to kind of look down at Sinch. He's going to be like, are you in good enough shape to introduce yourself?
I say, given Tinger's fear, Singe make another wisdom save to see if you're have the mental capacity to introduce yourself.
Good idea. Wow.
He's not
Well,
scared
he's
anymore.
apparently he's feeling brave, but at the same time, I feel like he'd still be trying to doll out.
Okay.
Maybe it's because Phalar addressed him.
He'll hesitantly wave.
Okay.
You're like, this small one's name is Singe. He's rather crafty when it comes to the kind of work that he does. He's helped us along. He's seen better days, but we're getting him back on his feet.
I see.
Otto, I think you're up.
I'm Otto Ross. I'm just here to admire the castle.
He's a very curious one. Likes his knowledge.
I see. He kind of leans back in his chair, kind of looking over at you, Klaus, saying, so, you have my attention with these crystals.
Yes. What would you like to know more about him?
I would like more. I will pay if necessary. I have means of transportation. As you kind of, I know some are not keen on plane traveling.
I am willing to discuss business terms with you here in a bit, once my companions leave.
He'll nod, saying, he'll kind of motion the rest of the party. Please, eat. There is plenty. Now it's time for me as he, like, claps his hand as you see, like, two spawn are bringing in, like, this very disheveled looking human guy in kind of ratty robes, hands kind of bound behind his back as he's kind of being, like, just shoved forward. Kind of like he's like almost like trying to like dig his heels and he's trying to prevent from being pulled forward. You see him kind of like with one hand grabs this guy by his throat, lifts him off his feet, and then digs into him. You see he's like struggling and moving around before you see his eyes kind of glass over. His skin goes gray, or eventually goes limp, and he just sort of like with one hand kind of just throws him aside. He like ragdoll over by the wall. Kind of wipes the blood from his mouth and says, "That's better."
I will then pull out my Demon's Veil wine and offer him a glass and his daughter's a glass. I don't think he told us his daughter's name, did he?
Yeah, he did.
I can't remember it.
He
Fuck.
said this is Lady Ophelia.
Ophelia. Okay. I'll ask him if he would like a glass, and I'll ask if Lady Ophelia would like a glass also.
She'll nod. They both nod.
I'll pour a glass, and when I finish pouring, I'll slide it to him, and then I'll ask the Mandan standing up with the staff. Hey, I did not get your name. Would you care to partake in some wine?
It's like now kind of looking over at this figure with the staff, you see it's a Fallberg, but you see his skin is kind of rotting in places. His eyes are kind of black, and he just stares at you and just shakes his head without saying a word.
I make a arcane check to see if I know what type, if he's affected by some type of magical thing that's causing that to his body. If I would know, if that's like he's trying to become a lich, or if he's just like a undeath person or something.
Yeah, roll. Yeah, roll an insight. I mean,
Insight or
Arcana.
Arcane.
Yeah.
Okay. 18.
I would say you're familiar that he is. This is probably more of a case of an animated undead figure that is entirely just being kept stationary just by magic alone. And this is very much an undeath figure.
I'll look at him and mention, if you would ever like to learn more about undeath or the inner workings of death and lichdom, you can come to me or my friend that I know. We are both quite well versed in it.
He just silently shakes his head. I apologize for my bodyguard Gregory here. He is not a talker. Also because I cut out his tongue. And he just like, as he says it, kind of like, you see, he gives like this cold stare to Gregory. I had to teach him the hard way the meaning of loyalty.
I see.
And you've learned this place, haven't you, Gregory? As he just nods, like vigorously, like, without saying it's very much like, yes, my lord, yes, my lord, yes, my lord.
And what about your other two companions that are next to my friend Phalar over here? Who might they be?
That is another one of my bodyguards. He's a mercenary. I pay him, he does what I say. As he kind of looks over and says, leave us. Just nod, turn and leave. Close the door. And then I'll close the door behind him. The other figure is just a spirit that's just hovering about 20 or near the ceiling above y'all.
I'll look at Otto and Phalar and Singe and ask if they have anything they would like to ask at dinner or anything they would like to talk about.
We've dinner with a vampire. No pressure.
Mm.
I mean, Klaus isn't feeling any pressure. We're all gonna die someday.
You can definitely tell. I think Phil, you can definitely tell that he's still very much studying the rest of you. Like he still hasn't quite made up his mind.
Obviously, he knows everything there is about Klaus now, for the most part, I'd imagine, but he doesn't know what we're up to.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not like we can exactly offer either other than Otto, and I'd imagine what we know above table about Otto would probably absolutely terrify them.
True.
Like, they could try to they could try to bite Singe, they would just get ash and wood. They could try to bite Phalar, but they wouldn't be able to draw much blood because he only weighs 31 pounds and his skin is taut to his bone.
Yeah, true.
I'd always like to imagine that when it comes to Phalar, instead of bleeding, he just kind of lets off like a purple fire from his cuts and wounds. Like, you know, the ethereal is spilling out of him.
Yeah, probably. Probably the only one they could really feed off would probably either Otto or probably Donia, maybe.
And then, you know, Andonia's over in the temple, and
Yeah.
Otto would probably terrify them with what he has.
Otto would like to ask, how long have you guys been living in this place?
He kind of looks you up and down, saying, longer than you've been alive.
I mean, that's for sure because you guys are vampires.
If you had to give a number, how long would you say? I'm quite old myself, probably not as old as you, sir, but I've been around the sun a few times.
Well, if I were to put a number, I'd say 800, 900 years. Times tends to be a little finicky here.
And your daughter? About the same time?
Maybe a little younger.
I can imagine it would be hard to keep track after so many years, especially in a place where it does not seem that there is a sunrise nor set.
That is true.
Do you
Well, I
guys
suppose
ever...
that is a good thing for your case.
Yes, we don't like the sun. I'm sure as you'll mention.
Yes, I quite like the darkness myself. It makes doing my research and getting test subjects a lot easier than during the day.
Not. Was Otto? I thought I heard Otto was gonna. Was Otto gonna ask him something?
That's why
Yeah.
I heard Otto say, like, have you ever? And then Phalar was like, oh, you were going to say something?
Oh, I didn't hear that.
What was Otto trying to say?
I heard, did you ever or have you ever?
Have you ever went to the outside? Or you guys have been mainly just residing in the castle?
The sun never rises here. I can go outside if I want.
Never
true.
have I
That's
ever.
perfect. Perfect for you.
If you mean
for
other
you.
planes, yes, I
Yes.
go to the material plane from time to time when I'm bored.
Oh.
But I tend to stay here for most of the time.
I'm assuming you guys are family, right?
Yes, that is right.
Oh. Are there like any other family around this area?
I have another daughter. I have another daughter and a son.
And where might they be?
My son wanted to see the world. He's who knows where. My other daughter lives here.
I see. Well, hopefully we'll get to meet her before we leave.
Perhaps.
Why are you laughing, Otto?
It sounded like Klaus was trying to hit on the daughter too.
You mean daughters? There's two of them.
Daughters,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. But
Yeah, he's not selective.
not both. I'm about to say, this mine's about to be help me get a wife. He wants these crystals.
Ooh, I've got an interesting question for him.
All right, go ahead.
So Phalar, kind of like fidgeting with one of the flasks that he's got on his belt, looks at the Lord and he's like, of course, quite admirably must say, I'm assuming with how old you are and the fact that of your nature, you probably have a bit of experience with things sanguine, blood and such.
Yes, that is right.
I have a bit of an interest in alchemical things as of late, and I too have a bit of a history with drawing blood here and there due to my past. Now, if I may ask if I could show you a particularly exotic blood sample and see if you might be able to give me any information about it?
He kind of looks over you saying, I can take a look.
Oh, of course. And he's gonna pop it off of his belt. Because I want to hold your trust, I will tell you up front that it is from the creature from far off places. I believe they are known in older text as illithid. I have collected a pint of their blood in our recent travels.
Ah, interesting.
And he'll kind of slide it down the table.
He'll kind of
I was hoping I could find someone that might be able to give me a little bit of information about what it may be capable of.
see, he like, as he like wraps his fingers, his hand around it, and you see him close his eyes. You see what little light there is here almost seems to fade a little bit. A couple of candles kind of snuff out before he opens his eyes again, saying, this blood has strong psionic properties. If applied with the right magic, you could perhaps amplify your sword in such ways. Or a potion. And he'll kind of slide it back down the table to you.
Take it back, hook it onto his belt, and then he'll give a nod, and you're like, that's sort of information is exactly what I was looking for, and it is deeply appreciated. I can say myself as someone who has been unsure if I would find someone who could inform me on such things.
So basically, above a table, with the right magic and the blood, you either get your one of your weapons to do psychic damage, or with the right potion, you could either make a potion of, say, like psychic resistance, or maybe
Depending on what you mix it with, you could either make a
yeah,
potion that helps you resist psychic effects, or makes psychic effects on the enemy worse.
yeah.
But is the
Which,
effect permanent or temporary?
For if it's a potion, it's usually temporary.
I'd imagine
Okay.
for potion it's probably temp. If I was to use the sword, it would probably take most, if not all, of that pint of blood, and it would probably be a permanent enchantment on the sword.
Yep.
Probably be some kind of like the blade or whatever would have to probably soak in like the vat of mind flayer blood for a while.
Yeah, basically.
Along with magic. See, now I say this. Oh, I say this little remark above table. Now you've got me even more curious what would happen if I was to combine that with a certain alchemical ingredient that I have in my pockets that gives you lucid dreams.
Oh lord.
I have a thing I collected from the swamp back outside of the Moon Village called Dream Blossom that when turned into, like, when crushed down and everything, it creates hallucinations and vivid dreams. So imagine combining that with Mind Flayer.
I have an idea for a potion that would be kind of interesting. I would say with
Well,
that,
see,
yeah, or be interesting would be like you temporarily gain the ability to invade other people's dreams.
like the Circle of Dreams was a druid.
Yeah, exactly.
See, I had an idea I ran by GPT to create like a signature poison for Phalar out of the 3 ingredients I found in the swamp, and it came up with the name The Last Dream, which I found interesting, which is pretty much combining Dream Blossom, Nightshade, and I forget what the Laughing Cap.
Uh,
So then they'll be poisoned and laughing their ass off, and as they fade out of existence, they start hallucinating.
I thought I heard Klaus was going to say something.
Yeah,
Yes, I was
what you
gonna
got, Klaus?
say. So, my lord, should we get down to business and we could have your um servant here? Um, what was his name again? It's slipping my mind.
Gregory.
Frederick
Gregory.
Gregory. Do you think you could have Gregory escort my friends around the castle and show them around? I know they were quite interested in seeing its design and everything else while we speak business.
I'm gonna look over at Gregory and go. And Gregory kind of will not say a word, just walk around the table, kind of just stand by the entrance, look at the rest of you, and wait. My servant Gregory will show you around. He cannot talk, but he can show you rooms. Please do not snoop for your own sake.
Understood.
I'll see you boys in a bit.
Have fun.
See, Gregory will open the door, and I mean, it's like a speed running tour of like shows you the kitchen, the living room, the library.
Ooh, library.
Unless y'all want to do anything specific, otherwise being
Uh, what kind of books do they have in the library?
Are you gonna mention that to ask Gregory?
Yeah.
He can't really respond, but I'd imagine
Yeah.
he'll probably be able to like
He'd point at him.
visually indicate whether or not he'll feel okay with us being in there.
It's
Uh,
he'll say just like as you mentioned library, he nods, and then just points back to the door which you came, kind of like saying it's that way.
Oh. So we can't go back in there yet.
I mean, you
Okay.
can you can. You just have to go walk through the dining room to get back to it.
Oh, would you mind? Show me the way.
It's because it's right here.
Oh yeah.
if Singe were to cast Arcane Law, does he have to like set its restrictions at the moment of casting, or can he like adjust them later?
Well, let me see what the spell says.
What trouble are y'all about to get into? Y'all about to get fucked up.
Touch closed door, window, container, blah blah blah. This lock can't be unlocked by non-magical means. Unique creature you designate cast a spell can open and close the object despite the lock. You can also set a password that when spoken within 5 objects per minute. It doesn't seem to mention changing that after.
I'll say you'll have to make an Arcana check to change it after you cast it. If you want to change any part of it, if you want to change anything.
I'd have to touch it and skill check it, you mean?
Yeah.
Okay.
So where are you casting on the living room, the dining room door?
I was considering shenanigans. Be like to be able to casually lock their doors, but like leave them unlocked for them until I want the lock. If I have to touch them to do it, that's.
We're gonna get
not...
hunted.
Is there a duration or I cast?
Can you do magic hand, like magic hand? Mage hand?
Yeah, I have mage hand.
Does mage hand count?
Oh. Yeah, does it, late?
I mean, yeah, you can use mage hand to touch an object.
Okay. Okay. Oh.
But I would say if you're gonna do it through your mage hand, you're gonna have to make an Arcana check.
An extra check. Okay.
Yeah.
But before you do anything, Otto turns to what was his name?
Gregory.
Gregory, would you mind? I would love to visit the library.
The timing would be so horrible that you go turn around back to the door and walk into it.
I'll say it's like as Klaus, as you start turning to talk to business, you see the door kind of open a little bit. You see Gregory stick his head in, looks at his lord. He was about to say something to you and just turned saying, "What do you want?"
And Otto squeeze his head in as well. I was like, can we visit the library?
That is off limits.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
And
Okay.
Gregory will stick his head and close the door again.
All things considered, while yes, I could imagine there's things untold in that library, it makes sense that he would keep it guarded for that exact reason. You got to think that Entity as old as himself in a world like this, he's probably got some secrets to keep, and I'd rather not disturb those secrets.
See, that is exactly why I was interested in the library.
Which is, again, reasonable.
I mean, I mean, if you want to pull
Uh,
shenanigans, you can try and get in there.
Currently, he values his life.
I think while they're asking for permission, Singe would like to try and touch the stairway door. Where's my stairway doors on this side and an arcane lock, but like allow everyone.
Okay. What including them?
Yeah, the vampire's just a regular door, but it happens to be a little more magic to it now.
All right.
Like, it's a +1 door.
Yeah, sure.
It's just now anybody from that point on that tries to lockpick the door gets a -1 to their check.
So I'll say as you're doing that, the vampire lord kind of turns over to you, Klaus, saying, "So, what is this business you wanted to discuss?"
I'm gonna cut right to the chase. Your daughter's read my memories. Y'all probably know what I'm gonna ask in return for giving you a, let's say it'd be my share of the stones and how many I can get. And it would help forge a stronger alliance with someone very powerful, and what me and him plan on doing in the future.
With what you're asking, make a persuasion check. This is a much higher DC.
Uh,
I'll say you have to be a 22 or higher.
I don't have anything that can help boost my stuff either, do I? Know.
I mean, don't you have expertise in?
Persuasion, yeah, I can always roll on that one.
True.
Too bad we don't have inspiration. Okay, here we go. Oh, nope. Come on. Had to be the 22, you said?
Yep. 'Cause
Come on.
27.
27! I always get the rolls when it matters the most, guys. You can ask Derek about trying to keep me grappled. He'll tell you.
It's like if you were to join my family, there will be a requirement, as I'm sure you can imagine.
And what would that be?
You must take on the gift, the dark gift.
I am okay with that.
He'll nod.
But as a condition, because and I with this condition it will bring more favor to you and more power and allies and servants. I would like to um marry both of them.
No. It's like when he says no, you see like that vampiric nature switch to a hardness, a protectiveness, and he's just giving you this cold, dark stare.
I'll look back at him and say, I know you're saying no now, but I promise you I would protect both until I die. You can already see what I'm doing for my first one and who I'm going against without fear.
The answer
I did
is no. If you want to try and persuade him to for the second one, you're gonna have to another persuasion check, but a much higher DC.
I'll try that once I get heroic inspiration and ask him that one.
Because at this point, it's gonna. I'll tell you right now, the only way that's gonna happen is with that 20. Given the stakes of everything.
For now, not for now. Let me reword that. Not for now.
I mean, he'll let you marry one, but that's it.
Yeah. I can see where you're coming from as a father, and I will agree to your terms.
He'll nod. I guess later we can work on when you want to work on your transformation.
Yeah,
I think we can do that once you get all figured out.
Yeah. Now he just has to tell me which one I'm marrying.
He kind of just gestures to Ophelia.
I'll look at her and say, so, what says you? Are you okay with this arrangement?
He'll kind of he'll give you a soft smile and saying, if my father is, then I am.
All right.
Meanwhile, are so the rest of you just gonna blitz around the castle, or are you just gonna hang out in the hallway outside the dining room?
They have their ears pressed against
Or
the
we
dining
could just
door.
be trying to sneakily listening in.
Yeah, they have their ears pressed
And
with
be
it.
like, Gregory, are you sure you don't want to listen to what they want to talk about?
You'll see them. They have those little glass cups against the door, trying to hear.
I mean, if that's what y'all wanna try and do, make a perception check.
Alright, perception check. Oh my god.
Hey.
I cannot hear anything.
You hear.
What about the other two?
There, Singe is distracting Phalar, briefly talking to him while you were having your conversation.
So Phalar is probably distracted, and he probably, unless Phalar has any interest in what's going on.
He does, but he's also like, Klaus is doing interesting things. I've done interesting things in my past. I'm not going to probe about it unless it becomes a problem. Is kind of the way that he's looking at it.
Oh, all right.
Because like, you got to think he's sort of desensitized to this kind of stuff. So it's like, unless it becomes a problem, I'm not going to confront it.
Yeah, makes sense.
All right.
I mean, above table, one of the things that's on his character sheet for one of his flaws is that he feels a slight rush whenever a life is snuffed out before him. And then it says, "I'm not evil. Here it says, "I'm not evil. I swear," in parentheses after it.
I'm just
He's not evil. It's just he's used to death.
it's just business.
Yeah. I mean, one
I
of his ideals is murder's okay if it's for a good cause.
I'd like to ask him before the wedding. I'm sure there will be one. Would Ophelia? How do you say her name again?
Orphilia.
Orphelia. Orphelia, would you like to join me and my companions and travel with me to the mine and meet my partner I'm in business with? And you can work out more logistics with him and set up a trade route to send back here to your father, and we can get to know each other more as we travel.
She'll nod.
Well, sir, thank you for dinner. We can track down my companions and bring them back here, or we can all walk to the door and we'll be on our way.
Seems to shut up. Gregory, show them out. And I'll say, I'll say as Gregory's kind of showing you out of the castle, you just hear him just turn suddenly and just start leading y'all toward the exit.
I was gonna say as Klaus goes to open the door, everybody's just pressed against it.
Yeah.
and they fall face first.
Probably Otto would.
Yeah.
Huh?
I'd see him. Huh? Yeah.
Huh?
I'd be like, Otto, what are you doing? Why'd you fall face forward?
Oh, no, nothing.
And it's good because that's like you're intensely leaning on the door trying to listen in. The door opens and you just fall face first. And as Klaus is standing right there, kind of looking down at you.
With the glass on his hand.
Yeah.
The glass goes rolling across the floor. Clinking.
Yeah, there's like, oh, I was drinking from the glass. Sorry about that.
Oh, you're drinking it pretty weird.
Oh no, I was just like putting myself on the door because I needed something to lay on. But anyway, we could head out.
Make a deception check.
Yeah. What do I need to make?
Insight.
All right, no, I'm good. 23. I'm good.
Yeah, I don't have anything in insight, so.
Yeah, you have no idea. Could be truthful, could not. You're not sure.
And just burning another arcane lock on an item for text.
I think like as the glass kind of rolls into the dining room, the vampire lord kind of just follows it with his eyes. What is going on?
I gotta try to deceive him, Otto.
I don't like snoopers.
No,
Probably
snooping.
be about now that Balar looks up from the conversation that he was having, probably at least a meter or two away from Otto, to see Otto over there, and just be like, my friends, you.
He's like gotten up and like walking over to.
You know
look in
what's
the doorway.
funny? I just want to say, I think both in character and out of character, Otto does not know what the heck you guys talked about. So
then, after that, Phalar, like, full genuinely, like, he's not even, like, putting on a performance or anything. He just goes, Otto, my curious friends, you've got to, allow yourself a little bit of leeway with your attempts at gathering knowledge.
He just says loudly, Gregory, show them out. And he just
No.
it's like he calls out to you, Otto, and says, if you're going to snoop, at least try and do it better.
Say, as we're getting shown out, Phalar will kind of just stop for a moment and he'll turn to the Lord and be like, I do apologize for him. All things considered, his curiosity does get the better of them. He has touched the inside of a brine pool once when we were fighting the Flayers.
You see him face palm.
And then he's like, he goes to catch up with the rest of the group as they're being let out, and as he's catching up, he's like, so don't pin it on him. His curiosity gets him.
He has a reason. You can just bring out that incident every single time.
What incident?
Don't worry about it.
I might start doing.
Yeah. Do it.
Because anytime you get yourself caught somewhere you shouldn't be, just be like, "We're sorry. He has a curiosity issue. He once stuck his hand into a pool of brine from a mind flayer colony." So,
Oh. Above table, can Singe make magical clothing?
Huh?
In like you can improvise stuff through like DM approval. I don't have express infusions regarding it apart from just like certain armor types, but even then that's quite limited.
Well, like an outfit, could you make it block the sun so somebody doesn't take damage from it? From the sun?
There's nothing. All you just need is a good hat or a hood, and you're good.
Okay.
perhaps something that helps you resist radiant damage, just in case.
Yeah, because in direct sunlight, you're gonna take radiant damage every 6 seconds.
That could honestly, I think that I find it kind of funny that the way that rounds in D&D work make it so that could mean he's either taking constant damage that just piles up every 6 seconds, or it's just every 6 seconds he erupts in flame for a split moment.
Well, I mean, it's like the sun's burning his skin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was trying to figure something out for our companion that's going to be joining us.
Well, I mean, you never know. She might have something.
Yeah. I'll ask her before we leave. We plan on traveling to the overworld. Do you have something that would help you block out the sun?
She'll nod and say, "Give me a moment," and she'll kind of walk off, kind of up some back stairs. Probably after, as you're coming outside, you see she comes back, kind of wearing this very large. It's almost like an oversized cloak, but with a large hood.
Okay. I say we should go meet back up with Ollie and the rest of them and head back to Moonstone.
All right. I think we probably end the session there.
Okay.
Well, the table's meeting between Antonia and Silas is going to be interesting.
Yeah.
This was an interesting session overall.
Is it that we're gonna be